Said that they don't know how to change the gear. She just wants a man from the frontier. Said she just love how me been there. She run with the man for long a good year. Said that they don't know how to change the gear. She no want a popsicle, become tickle. Tired be laugh like Jekyll and Jekyll. Run with the boy if him a obstacle. If him a boil the water, he a the kettle. Want feel the fire like we just in a pickle. First one a pass and she want icicle. Want me fi rub it up and down on the nipple. Want me fi do it for the double. But she want a man from the frontier. Said she just love how me been there. She run with the man for long a good year. Said that he don't know how to change the gear. Just want a man from the frontier. Said she just love how me been there. Run with the man for long a good year. But he want drive and no
woman sneaking, but what man says that you can't blame every man for what one man do you. Man deceiving, starting out what woman do. We not do half the things like honor. Like woman sneaking, but what man dance at you. You can't blame every man for what one man do you. Man deceiving, starting out what woman do. We not do half the things like honor. Hey, who know woman me can't just know. If anybody think what me a fuss know. Me not fuss know. When time me brush know. To me respect woman make me not dance me not trust man. If you not say run me we walk it. It's up to me alone if I own no right talk. For instance me by the be my part and not catch me man a gas. Hey, running like woman is sweet up. Go like a you one say she not cheat up. That we keep up. Mine is heat up. Then we need up. Make you go with me a week and then get up. Woman sneaking, but right man says so too. You can't blame every man for what one man do you. Man deceiving, starting out what woman do.
Back to the future.
Woman sneaking, but right man says so too. You can't blame every man for what one man do you. Man deceiving, starting out what woman do. We not do all the things like
looks like we made it. How much fight we get them nearly drive man crazy. DJs get lazy. Them stop right through them all a giant third party. Oh no, now go slow. Well this year Main Street them cold. But now we are moving on. And then you sing break out, tell your body in a corner. One day get the game and I get you on it. You don't live dirty so just granny. Jump up and grab your poo. Broke out, you are hear me shining. Back up on a girl in your Chris Armani. You're not the patient like Herman Barney. Jump up and grab your poo.
So the cabra say, me want one of them a girl, they know them a taste style. Flip it and pamper like baby. And from you know say you look good, girl and you smell good. And the girl wave your hand show.
The girl them say them want it. The first minute them saw me them call me out and tell me say them honey. Then text it for me, them lift me up and jar me. They strip me naked and take pencil and draw me. Them pata call me, say them want me lead them army. Girl them say no man can walk them better me. Me blow them letter for me, Bethany and Stephanie. Them take bus all the way from Chilani.
Well, woman no wanna bait. Them not gon' feel violate. If you accelerate, pan a day, them more you infiltrate. Woman them more you tear down them wall and them gates. In a year what me state, woman no wanna bait. Them not gon' feel violate. If you accelerate, pan a day, them more you infiltrate. Woman them more you tear down them wall and them gates. In a year
well, me want to see you all in the air. You never get a slam yet, for you and I care. All of the and them in the air, yeah me there. You never get a slam for your bus fare. Pressure them, yeah me there. In the latest wear, them can't smear your career. With you them want compare, but you no borrow wear. You no chase man like Chuck Beer. You no get no careless land.
Back to the future.
Tell them you no can like stand. So tell a girl move along, go back where she come from. Tell them say you no borrow man.
oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na.
Russell.
Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na.
Back to the future.
Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. It's all about Romy and the big fat sister Naomi. You two of them claims say them know me. All them arguments show me. The boy that name Romy and the more in sister Naomi. You two of them claims say them know me. All them arguments show me.
But in the middle of the night,
I am the middle of the night.
how when me lock off the light,
How when me lock off the light.
how when me slam my body wrong,
How when me slam my body wrong.
the girl all of them night.
The girl all of them. But in the middle Welcome the girl, them sugar. The girl, them need this nigga, yeah. Welcome the girls, them sugar. The girl, them need this nigga, yeah. Welcome the girls, them sugar.
Chilla la 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 bum bum chile. I and I book up y'all today. La 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 bum bum chilla. I and I wanna forget that gal yeah.
Competition a big one car way first. Sight the girl ya don't know say our bus. Between Thunderfall and Mr. Vegas, I which one I put the coffee down in her thermos. Me I forget the girl ya.
Man a girl you the girl.
She let go her number
But
for me.
me wrong number yo.
Me beg up on a date.
And then she kill her with the know.
But she still a man and a beta man, no old puppy show. Cause me have to get a blind, have to get a try, get the legal eye. I and I now go ramp with no guy. And me have to make a cruise in me rubber shoes. Till I get boots and a fall with and Vegas alone.
It's raining, my body's calling. I'm in need of my darling. Me well want a fire, and I'm hearing baby. Come and bake me pudding in the pina colada. On the way in the rain, on the way always sweet me. I dare not complain. My baby got me balling out from pain. But that's the way I want it, because my body must feel what me say.
X-rated. That make the woman excited. Like a poem it is recited. X-rated. Make the girl get haunted. Fool man them a say, oh, said that woman can't done. Tell them say the woman don't come to done. Oh, said that woman can't done. Tell them say the woman them can't done. One choke, one wash, then you turn it down, girl. Put me your foot and next man welcome. One choke, one wash, then you turn it down, girl. Put me your foot and next man welcome. And back it then up. Them say woman done, man with walking stick. Them say woman done, man a bus Them say woman done, man a use boom and still I say woman done. No. Oh, said that woman can't done. No. Then them say the woman don't come to done. No. Oh, said that woman can't done. No. Then them say the woman don't come to done. Jump around and you know say you're ready.
Back to the future.
Watch me now, every pussy come listen me now. Watch now, pick out the foot and you know say you're sexy. Work it, work it, work it, work it. Don't worry, cause everything done cook and everything curry. Hear the DJ in a dance and party. Watch out the young girl and bubble well steady. Then bubble pon the left, say bubble pon the right.
Now this one dedicated to all the pussy them who jump up, jump up. Dedicated to all the man them who wake up and push up. And dedicated to the girl them who no mother. Tickle me so cat because you come for my shit up. Anywhere you go it up for y'all and pull up. Listen me so cat because him well dangerous. Me say mud up italic and italic and italic. Me say mud up italic it a rip up a market. Me say mud up italic it a the latest lyric. When me come to the place and take up the mic and flick for your lyrics. Me say if you think I lie you want some outlaw money. Come and listen me so cat and me not talk on miss. When I'm offend me so cat and me a chemist in a days. Me no use half a batch me no work with switch. And this a DJ you can't short circuit.
Name young girl business control Jamaica. Young girl business control Jamaica. Girl a room on the drive BM and Mazda. Girl a room on the drive Benz and Jaguar. Girl a room on the drive Toyota Corolla. If you work a free zone, you a free zone worker. Even when you work as a domestic helper, good for the goose, yes, it's good for the gander. One good turn, this it deserve another. Yes, jump out a frying pan and jump in a fire. Better to build your clap, till you done them. Birds of a feather, we all stick together. All stick together like a stamp on the leg. Watch a candiba so the microphone center. No one girl and with them call name Sharon Ron. She say she don't want no broke pocket man. She want a man that can buy house and land. She want a man that can tan panela.
Uno, that was the number. With the Indian chief as I see they ride. Rain in the face was the leader of the Apache. Headhunters and scalpers travel at them side. Cause me dust, line up the cowboy fi catch you in. John gun on the clothes but me sparing on me hand. Red up on my head in the breeze it as soon as I enter. Soon as I arrive, pretend to be a chief from another tribe. My true identity was conceived, believe me. I tell them but the killer my profile was right. Cause me dust, back out make noise on my under me claws and push it up in the Indian chief nose. Me cover boot me use a step on him jaw. He make a sound like a wild buffalo.
Long time me riding and me riding waist. I want fi touching on me pillow
Back to the
them
future.
along so then I with them a profess. Touch man the hero with touch your birdness.
Now warning, warning, warning. Got to clear the truck or the Apache's coming. All guy got to wait until the next evening. Fire, cause when we come, we come. Watch out, make me come down. Make me come down, watch out, make me come down. Make me come down, dong, 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 dong. Hey, with the man go do when the general come, yes. Give him the mic and hold a Satan sit down. Ragamuffin, Mr. Catch a man, him come for settle down. Whenever time me come, me say that guy skin bun. Cause Jaja the father, Mr. Cat him and the son. But with them I go do when the general come. Follow me now. Give him the mic and hold a Satan sit down. For some of them come in a shock and some of them come and so that them done. The J will I come, no J will I come, no come for settle. Follow me now, out and make me come down.
Every passing now, come down, come down, come down, come down. Up on your bumps and ride. Jungle is bangles, shower is come down. Up on your.
When's the last time you heard styles like these?
Are you ready for?
Party done.
Throwback Thursday. We giving you the best throwback, the anthems, and dance all great.
Wine to me, baby. Rock out. The bad girl is so good. Shake up your body, jiggle the back, your body, tip a party, bubble fatty, dirty man.
Throwback Thursday.
When they talk about evolution.
Boom 106.9.
The number one morning show in the SVG.
Morning.
OMG in the morning.
Come on now.
Is she fond of luck? And you can't get in. And she bathroom window lock. And you can't get in. And she bedroom window lock. And you can't get in. And she kitchen window lock. And you can't get in. What to do? Kicking she back though. Kicking she back though. Kicking she back though. Back a me. Kicking she back though. Kicking she back though. Kicking she back though. Back a me. Kick on me. And she bad in murder. Kick on me. 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 I don't really know about you, but I know just what to do. When a woman battle down she house, make up she mind to keep you out. You push your key to find it jam, and it walk up in your hand. So the solution to get inside, cause she locked down, she house so tight. Whether rain or shine, morning, noon or night, that's the only way to win this fight. Is she fond of luck? And you can't get in. And she bathroom window lock. And you can't get in. And she bedroom window lock. And you can't get in. And she kitchen window lock. And you can't get in. What to do? Kicking she back though. 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 Kicking she back though.
Thursday.
I want a man come and ride me ready. I want a man come and ride me ready. I want a man come and ride me ready. I want a man come and ride me ready. One Mr. DJ boy, you know how to mix it up. Yes, there I go, muffin gal come and she know how to mix it up. Hear me now. You think you could handle me? You think you could handle me? Well, come and bring the needle. Come and bring the needle. You think you could handle me? You think you could handle me? Well, come and bring the needle. Come and bring the needle. I want a man come and ride me ready. I want a man come and ride me ready. I want a man come and ride me ready. I want a man come and ride me ready.
Mama baby, me no love you partially. Wine your body with authority. You rotate your waist with harmony. Me mean it, you want my baby. Sexy girl, me want to see. Come rub your hands all over me. You know so you tiny girl like you want me. Mess with this. Mess with this.
Throwback Thursday.
Mess with this. Don't mess with this. Mess with this.
Can't play with me, lady.
Mess with this.
Hear me now, hear me now. You will look at that. You never see a crew that can wine like that. Never met a girl that can wine down flat. Never see a body cock up so. You will look at that. You liking the jeans that I'm wearing. Stand over there and you're staring. Wake up, boy. Hey, when you see get on us coming and we circle off the ground, watch and the people go start humming when we fling that bump around them. Can't win it well. Fling it round, fling it round. Some of them guys start pressing when they see what's going on. Others might even start testing. We champions since we born. We is obsessive whiners. We don't deal with out of timers. Just get yourself some blinders. You don't want to see me wet. Obsessive whiners, we don't deal with out of timers. Get yourself some blinders. You don't want to see me wet. All is yours. All is yours.
I got about 7 after the 7 o'clock. Good morning, my peoples.
All yours.
The voice of our Onika bus take on the airwaves. It's a throwback Thursday. How y'all feeling today? It's a wet and rainy one on the outside. Hey, but nevertheless, the vibe is right here inside. A Boom 106.9 OMG in the morning.
Yeah. Hope you like chocolate, baby. That's the taste of my body. Don't you look any further? There is no other sweeter than me. After this dance is over, we're gonna mix it now for us. Indulging in chocolate flavor with cream and strawberries tonight. Anything you feel to do, just so I will be right here for you. I'm willing to try something new. Come on, let me dance my groove. If you want to love me up. When you want to pinch me up. If you want to smack me up. When you want to twist me up. If you want to kiss me up. When you want to hug me up. If you want to lift me up. When you feel to touch me up. All is yours. 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 All is yours.
Throwback Thursday.
All is yours. Sweet little iron girl, set my soul on fire. I love you of this world. You're my one desire.
And remember, you guys can hit us up on the WhatsApp right now at 455-1069. Let us know we're locked on a wet Thursday morning. Yeah.
It's true. I will do the world for you. Just to put my love is with.
like sugar apple. If I wouldn't get myself in trouble, I take a bucket of water and dilute you. Me girl, if you're sweet so, hands go follow you. If you was a mango, I woulda done pick you. If you're sweet so, hands go follow you. If you was a pineapple, I know I woulda done slice you. You're diabetic, girl, you're sugary. Watch the sweet for me. You have to but calorie. Watch your distillery. Girl, if you know you're sugary, put up your hands, make me see, girl. If you're sweet so, hands go follow you. If you was a mango, I woulda done pick you. If you're sweet so, hands go follow you. If you was a pineapple, I know I woulda done slice you. If I had a chance to have you, I woulda have to hide you.
This throwback Thursday.
The one to go. Hey, we sweating from we head to toe. Yeah, it's almost about 4:30. Hey, and still we calling out for more. We feeling hot, hot, hot. 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 I don't know. Say I don't know what you come to do, but I come to get on real bad, bad.
Get on bad. Get on bad.
Say I don't know what you come to do, but I come to get on real bad, bad. Oh,
Get on bad.
yeah.
Get on bad. Get naked.
Take off your clothes and drop it down.
Get naked.
Raise up your hands and whine around.
Get naked.
Take off your clothes, show off some skin.
Get naked.
This party's hot, heat vibrating now. We feeling hot, so.
All the gal we know how to whine, and you know how to move waistline.
Throwback Thursday.
And you're ready to grind. All sexy gal in the place know how to walk up the waist. When bumper them start to shake, everything in their face. Boom! Let go your waistline. Can't just let go your waistline. Can't just let go your waistline. Can't just push it back, hold it back. I say let go your waistline. Can't just let go your waistline.
Yeah, that's the voice of Madzard.
Can't just push it back, hold it back. I say bring the gal in. Bring the gal in.
Taking it back a little bit with this one.
Bring the gal in. Out of the shower, into my latest outfit. I'm gonna blade, that's the way that we like it.
1069.
Gonna rock this place tonight, I beg you don't doubt it. Don't doubt it. It's a long time with a party like this. I like it. When we step out the car, take me straight to the bar. And with the champagne popping and the girls good looking, everybody living like movie star. Is this a party? Is this a fit? Whatever it is, we not tell you yet. It look like a roof, and we not beat them. Turn on the lights and make the man them race when they get them push back. When the thing y'all roll back like a acrobat. Balance your drink, balance your drink, balance your drink. All of the y'all them push back. When the thing y'all roll back like a acrobat. Balance your drink, balance your drink, balance your drink. Everything up in the air, yeah, 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 yeah. Up in the air, everything up in the air, yeah, up in the air, up in the air.
Ça passe, I know I live, and let me go. We having a total party tonight. Ça passe, I know I live, let me go. I know they got some whining tonight.
She tell me wife everything. She tell wife me everything. She tell me got everything. Good God, we give a girl peace and just surrender. The clothes with the girl them put on, me have to wonder how they get it on. Change the beat, say Louis Vuitton, but they look like Louis Vuitton. The girl them a just half naked, out the road them a built it straight. Girls stay home if you know you're outdated, 'cause a good body girl get ready. Who then crack me face? You delicious, me want take a taste. But me wife she just want me face.
Throwback Thursday.
Trying to kill it. Don't want a weak man who can manage it. Don't want a ruffian who won't damage it.
How you want me?
In the middle, yeah, right there. In the middle,
Throwback
in the middle,
Thursday.
in the middle. I like the man in the middle, yeah, right there. In the middle, in the middle, in the middle. I like the man in the middle.
On 106.9.
Hey, definitely some serious throwback vibes in the morning. Yeah, man. All you wake up now.
Tell them we no play with it. Kingston man we
no Vincentians people, all you wake up.
no play with it. P1 man don't play with it. Tell them we no play with it. Kingston man we no play with it. Tell them we no play with it. P1 man don't play with it. Tell them we no play with it. Boom 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 boom.
Throwback Thursday.
Alright, Kingston man we no play with it. Tell them we no play with it. P1 man don't play with it. Tell them we no play with it. No man from country don't play with it. Tell them we no play with it. When you're inside the party, tell a DJ don't ram. When Blakey tell she, take out the booty, come and talk. No more than Blakey. Oh, set it off. You know what I'm saying? Take out the booty, come and talk. Oh, set it off. The party was more than nice. We eat them food more than twice. I think you wanna wine with me? Baby, wait, girl, take it easy. Y'all come in a comfy no speech. No more long talk, y'all rock to the beat. Give me the wine, y'all don't waste me time. Come in a pass, come in a intent we preach. Y'all, the people them just Blakey. Skinny fabulous, look she. Oh God, you look ugly. DJ, pong like me. Take out your booty, no more long talk. No more long talk. Oh, beside it all. Y'all take them off, take them off. Take out the booty, no man and talk. Y'all getting there, oh, beside it all. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Y'all, when you're whining with me, make sure you're whining hard. Make sure it no wicky. But man don't deal with no fraud. Me love to see the girl them bumper look broad. Hey, give me the love, the party wine, give me it all. Everything you want me do, boom the meat.
Throwback Thursday.
Boy, look Blakey. And look shady. Okay, that's shady.
I remember that when that song used to be beating on.
Boy, trust me, that was a bad, still a bad style.
I remember when he mash up we name from Leo Day. Oh gosh. Remember they had a little clash.
Oh, Muntai?
No. Should you name the
what Father Leo?
Should you name he faced the camera name?
You remember it. You remember it just now. But big up Blakey, boy. Ever become a Blakey?
Allergy.
Oh, allergy?
Yeah, remember you had a little...
Yeah, allergy is a living, man. Big up Blakey people. And big up Blakey, this was definitely a big tune, boy. Trust me. Hey, yeah, Winston, big up yourself, man, and welcome. Inside OMG again. If I see my face, I don't know what's going on.
I keep hearing about this rape thing in Billy. I don't know any. I mean, I live Gomez, but I know.
Yeah, I heard about it since Monday, I think. Monday or sometime last week. Yeah, but then
two.
Yeah, then I get to understand it's 2 person doing it.
2 person.
Yeah, two mass, man. They going around and you know what I mean, raping people, I guess. I don't know how true it is because it's rumored. You know what I mean? It's rumored. I don't know if the police
by our insurance. Amalgamated security protection is second to none. You could contact us at 784-456-4824 or visit our office in Arnesville, opposite Thomas Wholesale. Our phone number again is 784-456-4824.
Protect the children. Yeah. Don't be afraid to speak out. Teach the kids their rights. Physical and sexual abuse must stop. Join me in this fight now. I want you to see suspects say among friends and families. See suspects say in the schools and communities. Children are the future. They depend on you.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact Live. Party.
Always wanted a motorcycle, but they've been too expensive. I pass in on my way to work, and then boom, I see courts of motorcycles outside. I'm excited. I get up one day, I go down, I spoke to this guy. I think his name was Sheena, this short, chubby little guy, you know. I purchased 2 bikes so far. It was the 150 SL and the 250 Dragon. This blue, beautiful AKT TT Dragon, this is my baby. I call her Becky. She gives me the best ride ever. My name is Storyboy Nick, and I live to ride my AKT.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Your vision is our mission at Kurtz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.kurtzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Kurtz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in store for details.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact Live. Party from home. Subscribe, follow, send us your voice notes. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, or call us live in studio. Be where the world is going. Stay home and connect online. Boom 1069, IKTV. Join the evolution. It's all about you. Connect now.
Discover New Guinness Smooth. Perfectly balanced for a smooth, refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth.
Your vision is our mission at Quartz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.quartzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in store for details.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentions that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact Live. Party from home. Subscribe, follow, send us your voice notes. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, or call us live in studio. Be where the world is going. Stay home and connect online. Boom 1069.
Man, never said them slaughter, no black man, not slave in the revolution. No opposition, no civilization. Never we walk up against the wall. Them all in a different position. No either civilization. See I no trust us, so no trust, so no wrong. In the city, right on the anywhere you want it, I'll be giving it to you. Cause the command is, everything is going for you. The better I'm feeling this, in the case of me and you. Till your brains are still this words I'm saying are true, yeah. They need a musically, physically, spiritually, internationally, yeah. Rasta girl should not rally around the alley when I keep up on the border. Cause I'm feeling anywhere you want it, I'll be with you. I'm not your mind. I know that you are lying. So please make up your mind. Alright, if a man do wrong, then you do it too. Judge is gonna beat you for two. There's an unseen eye watching you. Any little thing that you do, you and you and you.
Because you don't lead to destruction, you know the right thing. Then you move into the wrong, because the wrong that you see is wrong.
It's repentance time, every man a see clear. Every entertainer clean up them career. And when we rock the music, the people are their reality when them want to hear. So, on the killer, the DJ, we act like a with the most guns and wire run Jamaica. Let me baptize bomb tequila over head shot. Let me dip him 3 times in the water. You say we never start a movie and we never did land, but we for them follow the book. Ever Satan, some take money by bands and gun. Everybody say I want it, Beanie fella. When me baptize Beanie Lunga, done silver. When me dip him 3 times in the water. Him say blessed be thy name. For certain rounds that don't know is to take a blame.
One thing me know me mind, one thing for me thought. Papa said that boy me make a little walk. In the streets it's getting hot, and the youth them against
Thursday.
And that's the voice so far, Richie Spice. Taking it back with this one inside the Throwback Thursday.
it's getting hot, and the youth them against so cold. Searching for food from a pot, forget to anything to fill that gap. As generation comes and grows, we got to make preparation for the youth let it grow. It's what you read, it's what you saw. The youth them have a life and the future so understand, you know. If education is the key, so tell me why the big guys are making so expensive for we. Give them the key, or set them free. In the streets is getting hot, and the youth them are getting so cold.
Hey, remember it's always the message in the music. Shout out to all my peoples down there in our union. Good morning to my union people.
It's getting hot, and the youth them are getting so cold. Searching for food from the back, they do anything to feel like yeah. But there is the right end, see the people in the right way.
Thursday.
That's a choose no time. I'm a job. Today is the right day. See the people in the right way. Alright. Today is the right day. See the people in the right way.
Deep in my heart, yeah, I see love. I see love. Rolling in the tears of God, yeah. So thanks for my joy. I see love.
Should have been mama can run away. Yeah, live to see this another day. No, baby, you so much. See other than the children lose their lives. Innocent by the roadside. Oh, and all we want is justice. To see because they promise with the love of the Cassias. And they promise that no action they can see that. They promise that they never be a find that. They promise we are him and they look like that. So what do we do now? What do we do? Where do I go now? Where do we go from here? Who should I blame for all of this? Deep in my heart,
I see love. Sweeping me apart, I see love. Rolling in the tears of fire. It's I see love.
This is a serious life, violence and crime and a fear hunting the youth them up on their mind. Oh, them bust it with rain and fall. In the system them not care when your youth them bust it always sun and shine. Oh, you not see a fear coming out there. I'm gonna be guns out the street. Where them get it from? Nobody know. The father was a killer. Oh, when I see them go. Oh, I know you can't see. No matter how many times you do it, you can't see. Up here, gunshot of it. You can't see. No matter how many times you do it, you can't see. Up here,
Black people just like for me, come and dance last night. And you know say we play
Thursday.
but people live on that beach and they get to see what something like a sheep boy. To help a stone bridge machine and to a piece of car. But the $1 million question is how we them get them things up on start. They use block the road, them block the road, them block the road, them block the road, boy. Me know where them get them all things here from, but I hit them use block the road. Them block the road, them block the road, them block the road, them block the road, boy. Me know where them won't be fine. But I hate you like the old. Feel good when you're wrapped up in my arms. And see, overnight.
Hey, giving us some big people music in the morning time. It's OMG.
I feel good when you're wrapped up in my arms. And sing to a reggae song. Feel good, feel good.
And after all, we done start your weekend yesterday, you know?
Cause you
DJ Shady, I go on weekend.
and only I can talk about. Feel good. Feel like it rubbing over my skin. And then your hair dances on the body. Wish we were alone, baby, just the two of us. Yes, every move you make gives me a rush. Oh, wine some more, show me that love unconditionally. Make believe we're alone, just you and me. Ain't the problems living behind. Don't let it show. Go baby, go baby, go baby, go baby, go.
I wanna give you some sweet love, sweet love.
Throwback Thursday.
Night shift. Oh, baby, don't hold it tight. I treat you right there on the night shift. Baby. So if you man want to win in the night, just strip your rubber of the bedroom light, yeah. She crawl up in my arms like a spider. Body fitting activity when she inside her. When me introduce her to the body energizer. Loving in abundance, she let us be no miser. She starts in her praise like the phantom synthesizer. I hold the man in her arms, me squeeze her tighter. Give us that sweet love, on the night shift. Lay along on the night shift. Oh, baby, don't hold it tight. I want you on the night shift.
You say you love me, no one more. But when you say you need me, no one needs you more. For I adore you. Boy, I adore you. Girl, take a minute and catch your breath. And I'll take that minute to wipe my sweat. It's only the beginning, we ain't halfway yet. You think that you can handle it, place your bet. You're gonna lose, and all your treasure will be mine for sure. My love's a cruise to a place I've never been before. The prize is satisfaction guaranteed. When it's true, give yourself to me.
Someday, I know that we're gonna move from here to our own place. I believe that we are gonna make it through God's space. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, baby, but have a little faith. 'Cause I never leave you, no, I will be there. Every time you close your eyes, I will be there. I'll wake up by your side like your shadow. I'll stick by you, and I'll always be around. I'm gonna stick by you. Make you rock, make you rock, rock, rock. Make you rock some more. I say, make you rock some more. Having fun this time around. Smiling faces, no see the front.
Some serious vibes coming up from DJ Shady.
Feel the vibe when
And remember, we're also prepping for our independence coming up pretty soon. The vibes of Mrs. Signal inside the airwaves this morning.
See man and woman them are. Everybody in the vibe, nobody and no get stop. No game with music, it's awareness, I said that. So pull up down your from top. Now when I hear we can make you rock, rock. We can make you rock some more.
And we would like to know which Caribbean island fuel price gone up other than ours.
Having fun this time around. To the sweet, sweet
gas and diesel price gone up again.
the best is not see the front. It's a highway on the
Throwback Thursday.
Remember the song used to make you run away. God's work lays when I used to lay. We can't stop night till the songs they play. We can't come again. You were just the same. Now I feel it's hard. We such a golden time and I'm alone again, saying let's let you go. Something's bound to come and try to spoil the show. Remember the songs used to make you run away. Those were the days when love used to rain. We dance those nights till the songs they play. We can come again. If you ain't just the same. Celebration, hey, hungry days. No one to change your face. All I see is face on the hungry days. It's a showing on the face. All I see is out of this on the place. When you to the bed and do the party room, the crew should know from where it's in the home. Hungry dogs, where that coming on the way and slow. The number lose the food, we are saying for customer. We don't know what's the number trouble. It's a road in a row. Now if we choose to come, one thing's gonna come and try to go on us. Hungry days, no one to take a race. All I see is out of this on the place. On the hungry days, it's a showing on the face. All I see is out of this on the well, on your mind, suffering from way back when. And what's wrong, you be the best friend. On the right side, 24/7. So I want you to be the one you don't tell. But I'm the only this operation for burn. But somebody keep on the one you love me not learn. I'm not circulating and them money should be the friend. No get my people on me, so I'm all right then. Cause I'm hungry days, no one to change my face. All I see is that I'm out of this silent place. Cause I'm hungry days, it's a showing on your face. All I see is that I'm out of this silent place. I remember you getting funny, young. I remember you getting wonder. Me wonder if one would be this no free and come to our time and you're not wonder. Money look in the money can price and the money get fire. But man, and we get swamped up. That's when we get low.
Got a big bright smile on my head. Hungry till I can barely walk. Oh, too much to look on my face. No, don't have no food and no cupboard dry. Only God knows how I get by. Oh, too much to look on my face. No, she's the sweetest thing that you've ever seen. Selling her body wasn't in her dreams. No, too much to look on her face. No, because we have a pleasant look. If you don't know the story, don't judge the book. Please don't watch the look on my face. No.
Out comes the sun, shining on my face again. Roots built to high, so I can meditate. Trees are hard to desert. Highest grades we blaze on.
Throwback Thursday.
Baby, talk about us. I give you my word. Stick to my promise. Leave it when I see it, baby. It's just because you don't understand. Oh, girl. The full intent of my plan. Baby, I wanna be your soul provider. And baby, I wanna stay that way for the longest time. Baby, I wanna be your soul provider.
Throwback Thursday.
They got some 11 on to the 8 o'clock hour. And as of October 2nd, diesel will retail at $15.26. Yeah, boy. I tell you, boy, if you price down sky, you know, again, low sulfur diesel at $16.98 and gasoline at $17.06. So when you hear it for yourself, you come down here, you better walk with 2 batteries for run the vehicle with.
Yeah, about Tesla.
You run a Tesla for
yeah,
you.
but how the Tesla can charge, you know, same fuel.
Is the current never running off?
Right, over the current running off.
What, I guess? Yeah, they pack it down with like, you pack it down with like I get at the charge up down with it. Yeah, boy. Gasoline going up again, but we have to start cook on coals. You know?
Coals.
Coals food are the best.
Yeah.
Coals food are always the best. I cook some the other day, boy, decent.
Hello, good morning. Morning, guys.
Hey, what's going on, man?
I would like to know which other Caribbean island fuel prices went up this week or last week.
I was literally looking for it a while ago, but I couldn't stumble upon anything.
I asked a question on Facebook, and one person, schoolmate of mine who lives in England, answered say in Kenya.
In Kenya, it went up in Kenya?
Yeah, in Kenya.
That's miles away from us, man.
Now, what is the reason for fuel prices going up?
Well, we had to throw back out that question there again and see if anybody can answer us.
I have money to do. It's all about what the government.
Stream down again.
Oh man, I don't know. I can't hear any headphone over here. Any headphone over here?
Oh, we sacrifice entertainment. We have to sacrifice something if we want something.
So you're saying we might have to sacrifice something in order to make it here in SVG? Right.
they give them. And then you see why they don't want me to talk and why, thank God, you would give me a chance. Because why? She said...
I wanted to ask you, what you think is the cause for the fuel price to go up?
The thing is, it is same like what is happening. We have a fluctuating. We had a fuel surcharge rate at Vidlec around 50 cents. It's now 50, going into 60 cents. I called them, I asked them why. They can't tell us why. And so what really happens is that they literally now are using up monies. Tax are in Eustace. You ain't going to get it from Leacock on Friday and Cummins. They will hide that up. They've been using monies from these statutory bodies. Using money from NIS. Using the little monies that Jesco used to have. In fact, robbers of our little resources. Using monies from national properties with little monies they get. Use monies from Lotto. Use money from every financial institution. Because why? The economy, the treasury is dry. The consolidated fund is dry. There is really no money. It's the only way. And so the only how Mr. Gonzalez would have any kind of money to keep them civil servants happy is to find some other alternative. And that is the Carob fuel. Carob put on extremely high VAT.
So is it
high taxes.
Is it only in St. Vincent fuel price gone up?
The thing is, right, there would be a fluctuation. As I said, for St. Lucia and Grenada, they've kept it. So they're going to bear the burden. And when you listen to their leader, just Alan Eustace, when you cap it, what you're basically doing is that you're keeping your economy stable because you don't want not to make your van drivers, your business people can't move about. You're going to have less taxes. We've got to discuss this thing in a sensible way, not call every time and talk it in a political way, because Mr. Gonzalez literally been getting away. Again, one last thing. How do we account for our taxpayers' money? How do we account for keeping the people abreast of how you are running the country? Imagine you having fuel such a fuel increase and Mr. Gonzalez and the cabinet or call them all you want or the ministry don't see it fit to be able to tell us and warn us in advance that we are going to be, you just go to the pump and that is how you know it. And we have been treated shabbily because we don't have an opposition. We don't have a vibrant opposition. When Alan used to be here, I used to get information, my brother, on NS and fuel prices. And since Friday took over, Leacock and Cummins and they've been playing games with us. And I'm only saying at this time that we get together. Vincentian, I'm not a politician. Let we get together and let we demand that our country literally be accountable again. It can't be just Bing and you and the brother and a few of us, Dave Roberts, who call in and every time they lick us up. And again, a guy said that unless we get change, do you know 50% of the population voted for change? So Mr. Gonzalez, no 5-star general. They have lost, let me tell you something, to win seats, just by very narrow margin. You're having galvanized, frightening people coming to my house, threatening me that, if I come on radio, they're going to sell up my house. They ain't going to give me a walk. I ain't going to go to Jesco. I ain't going to go to Baxter. I mean, for me, this is what we have come to. It is time, my brother, that people understand the gravity of what has happened to our farmers. They can't even buy food. Right now, our farmers could buy, cars, cash, go into town, literally, and literally buy chairs and keep the economy vibrant. Right now, I'm telling you, all of them are literally cash strapped. They have to go now, line up to Mr. Gonzalez, we love you, you're ULP supporter. He said, how can I help you? Well, you have three children. I put them on poor relief. I put the wife to do security work. This is why we come to Venezuela. And every day we talk, Gonzalez laughing at we. Gonzalez must go. We have to get Friday the cock and Cummins out and put people in that party that can be accountable to us. Gonzalez did a wonderful job in the opposition. Austin had to walk with him. He was different. He held the NDP to account, and that is why we have change. We want change today. We want back our agriculture. We want back our freedom of speech. We want back our young people. We're losing them to drugs. We're losing them to prostitution. While Mr. Gonzalez and Friday Leacock and them are getting the pay. Look at what they've done to our NS. I'm coming off this radio now because, my brother, I want to thank you all very much. for giving us this opportunity, because every time you come on the radio, you don't say guns up or bow down. All right, is that they cut you off. Love you all very much, man.
All right, man, take it easy.
God bless you.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Mr. Hamo. Yeah. Let me see who else we have online. All right, that can let it drop. Anyways, we're talking about fuel price this morning. It gone up. Why the reason fuel price gone up again? Shady, you gonna make it?
What?
In this economy? You drive every day, man.
I tell you, I tell the park up and get right.
You just drive every day.
And drive on weekend.
You know what I mean? And then that same money now could have come back in to put back gas in every vehicle. Them van man going to look for curb, them van price now. You know what I mean? Anyways, people, we're going to run the top. It's all about your Throwback Thursday, OMG in the morning.
Are you ready for
Party done.
Throwback Thursday? We giving you the best throwback, the anthems, and dance all great. Throwback Thursday.
When the top boy Evolution.
Boom 106.9.
The number one morning show in the SVG.
Morning.
OMG in the morning.
Come on now. Tell them what the blast rider. Them no want nothing for them slider. They want it front way, back way, sider. Tell them friend, you say Tiger. Tiger boy. When we drink it, I rub on a piece of soul. Yeah, them are revealing. When we say no, Tiger boy. When we drink it, I rub on a piece of soul.
Y'all bend up. When them feeling sitting in the kitchen where we send up. Request it up in an hospital, them end up. Nobody knows that Sean Paul and I do not go friend up. Y'all them have to get them good bend up and bend up. When them feeling sitting in the kitchen where we send up. Request it up in an hospital, them end up. Nobody knows that Sean Paul and I do not go friend up. Y'all them have to get them good work back. We sitting there, damn it, the girl them get wider. And I make them know say that man is a top class rider. Apart the leg, them have to get divider car. Man a slide and glider. And then they tell me penetrate. They get them off the shake and now say that we have to get them straight. And then say them no wanna be the girl. Them say them want the rake. And yo them say them just can't wait. Yo the girl them a look and we picture cause them know we great.
Tiger boy. When we drink it, I rub on a piece of soul. The girl them bend up when we say no. Tiger boy. When we drink it, I rub on a piece of soul.
Yo, the girl them have to feel it.
Throwback Thursday.
Yo, well, we up for what them every day. I make them know we not gonna play us, so they don't take up youth, them stay well. Man up to put them in a style and drive the girls them wild. Judge know say that the girl them up and smile, but it all depend on if a girl feel too big enough. Some girl them spin from man head like gig enough. Sean Paul with the man and the girl them dig enough. A 10,000 girl died out there, you know.
Give me the wine where you mash up in America. Give me the wine where you mash up in Canada. Give me the wine where you mash up the 14 parishes in Jamaica. Give me the wine where the ouch them a ball for. Give me the wine where the mugglers a scream for. Give me the wine where rookie little bubbler. When the chichi wine and she a scream for cocoa wine. Give me the cocoa wine. Give me the cocoa wine. Give me the cocoa wine.
Me and the girl them gishada. Be a sexy girl, me a go round and a starter. The girl them send me out a harder. And a slap me take it off and harder. Again, me and the girl them gishada. Be a fat girl, me a go round and a starter. The girl them send me out a harder. And a slap me take it off and harder.
There's such a feeling running through my body, running through my mind, and doing things to me. Girl, it makes me wanna love ya. It makes me wanna touch ya. It makes me wanna make sweet love to you all
some love them, some love them. Woman, I'm jump on them,
Throwback Thursday.
Some love them, woman, I'm jump on them, and I'm rock them. Some love them, some love them. They know me as the rammer, no ram to fling the hammer. Don't see it on your face, you love the lover, rama drama. The undisputed scammer, no know me as no yammer. Your baby mother come and name she stammer. Girl listen to me flow, finger up and give me yo. Tell your friend number we do, up on your toe. She says she love.
Hey, 6 after the 8 o'clock inside.
They like her up on
OMG in the morning. Let me shout out to all the fans on the road and all passengers about locked on. Remember all the please take it easy, alright? The road wet, no speeding. And remember this land gasoline gone up, so I don't want burn it out, you know.
In my sight, you know that's not right. And when me attack, and me want fight. Boom, me not fight, I gotta get right. Walk past me through, would I get hype? She say me man want to go fear sitting. But when him come home, say I'm me and Mrs. Right.
Like a bunny, dead man pan him, pay the house and land and run it. Bunny, dead man pan him, pay the car and van and run it. Bunny, dead man pan him, pay the house and land and run it. Bunny, dead man pan him, pay the car and van and run it.
Hot gal, sweet like a honey. X25 in a straight in a sunny. Vicky have a secret, G and it funny. Man come a offer me no beg them no money. Fat till it buff, any which way me turn it. 10 pound ton, the vaccine a dummy. Some of them a like return of the money. As a man tell her to spread, she be running. Black card, that's why multi-link too shabby. I'm in a few weird push up at the no saggy. Tag a bubble like soup, whether Eve or Maggie. Girl a go asylum, so she leave her baggy. Man a her bounce a police and cabby. She a scrape a little thing, me nearly rich like Shaggy. She a jump man to man, I must say she dear froggy. Get rocky, get rocky, get rocky. I don't want no CD, no MP3. Don't want no love to come download me. So fed up with technology. Computer loving is not for me. Let's take it old school like 83. Put me on the table like a record spin me. I wanna feel you need a baby. Scratch it, scratch it, scratch it, scratch it, scratch it for me. The record spin, 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 spin me, yeah. You're my DJ, spin, 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 spin me, yeah. Love the way you play, spin, spin, spin me, yeah, 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 yeah. Like a record spin, 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 spin me, yeah. Love the way you play, spin, spin, spin.
Hey, let me shout out to Bernadette, good morning to you.
Oh yeah, after me express.
DJ Sachin locked on in Guyana, what's going on?
I'm when me knock it like a hammer, the scream.
Randy Jets, big up yourself, morning to your brother.
I'm a me no love it like how the mechanic never left it. When me rest up, when me knock it like a hammer, repeat. Like it's hammer when me knock it like a hammer, the scream. Like that when me knock it like a hammer, me no love it like how the mechanic never.
Romance me, girl. Come dance with me, girl.
Boom 106.9.
Groovy, let me take you to a movie. Romance me, girl. Come dance with me, girl. I need a girl that's groovy, groovy. Let me take you to a movie. Give me a massage, let me into your garage, girl. Let me crash onto your bumper. Put me into your collage, the way I feel is in mirage, girl. My heart beats like thunder. You won't regret it. Yes, I said it. I swear every word I meant it. So just do what you do, then I will love you. Romance me, girl. Come dance with me, girl. I need a girl that's groovy, groovy. Let me take you away. Romance me, girl. Come dance with me, girl. I need a girl that's groovy, groovy. Let me take you away. It's a Ronnie, just in case you never know. Just in case you never know. Hey, love you, girl. Do you feel the same? I don't wanna play games, no games. You're the only one that can out my flame. Baby, just play it straight, straight. No games. We've been together 6 months now. The most perfect day. You pushed for us to exchange vows. Made me change our ways. I gave my life over to you. Then you turned around.
Yes, you do it. I know it.
Throwback Thursday.
Bend down and the two make your bumper touch the ground. Watch out, you can go on. That up is a tail. Yes, you do.
Hey, remember to hit us up on the WhatsApp 455-1069. It's a wet and rainy Thursday morning here in SVG.
I just the wine where you have, baby. Girl, you drive me crazy. Want you to be my lady. Alright, wine pon the ting, girl, wine pon the ting. Let me take out my pen and sign pon the ting. Move your waistline, girl, line pon the ting. Hey.
Alright, me girl, show them the wine where you have. When you touch the road, every man I get mad. Wine and go down, girl, show them your bad. And just wine, me girl, wine it up. Tick-tock, girl, share. Wine pon the city, girl, you feel just furious. Catch pon the edge, girl, make up your furious. And just wine, me girl, wine.
I'm so special, so special. That's why I'm special. Boy, I premium the girl and them want chase like petal. Tanja, I'm so special, so special. Tell them me no fear, too fierce expression. Guy for no dirty mouth can't chase nor dental.
When we say, oh God bless, wanna know the rest. Follow me now. The Almighty protect me. The Lord will not forsake me. Jana go make me suffer by the hands of the wicked. So indeed,
Throwback Thursday.
No, I want God now forsake me. Jana go make me suffer by the hands of the wicked.
Wicked that can't get me down. No. You know for me, I come from nothing to something. Me I work.
Hey, some serious vibes from DJ Shady Boy, trust me.
But I no rehearsal, this and a TV show. I'm a call people with ambition. Hold your head up high, no make them see you cry. And when the wicked I put you down, yo, nobody ask the Father why. Tell them say me still I get by. The road rough, but me still I get by. But still I bubble, so me still I get by.
Throwback Thursday.
Mr. MP, so you mean to say get a youth stuff and live nowhere. Them want me for fall, but that nah I'm none at all. No, them want me for fall. Raise up the food and take the dance hall. No, man a standing soldier. You not see we ball. Man a real standing soldier. All when we back against the wall. Man a real standing soldier. We not bow down and crawl. Man a real standing soldier. Jaja protect us all.
Every day another youth are dead in the ghetto. Stop the violence and bloodshed in the ghetto. When I want to see them more go dead in the ghetto. Can't hardly afford peace of bread in the ghetto.
Help poor people, treat them right. Nurture the youths, don't give them a fight. One poverty, the bigger heads need to shed some light. Them want me for fall, but that nah none at all. No, them want me for fall. Raise up the food and take the dance hall. No, man a standing soldier. You not see we ball. Man a real standing soldier. All when we back against the wall. Man a real standing soldier. We not bow down and crawl. Man a real standing soldier. Jaga protect us all.
Throwback Thursday.
85 so far, DeMarco right there, track called Standing Soldiers. And I now stumbled across a story here on Eyewitness News. The family of a 4-year-old boy is seeking answers about how he ended up dead. Shit, I don't know if you saw this story.
Yeah, I heard about it.
You heard about it? Yeah, I know literally about it. Apparently, allegedly bleeding from his organs 4 days after what was billed as a simple surgery to make his legs the same length.
Yeah, I think when they had a kind of...
Yeah. I think one leg shorter than one. So a simple surgery just to go and try and fix that, to even out things, so to speak now, yeah. So I guess the child had some sort of bleeding, internal bleeding or whatever the case is. So now the family is seeking answers, but all they got from doctors is you gotta wait until the weekend. I mean, what kind of craziness is this? You know what I mean?
You had to wait till the weekend?
Yeah, you had to wait till this weekend coming to get some answers. Because autopsy and all them things. Yeah, they had to do the autopsy. They had to do the autopsy. But I'm still wondering, what could have caused the bleeding? You know what I mean? A simple surgery. Well, from what I'm reading here, from Eyewitness News, apparently they were told by the doctors it could have been dengue, COVID, leptospirosis, or one of them things that would have caused the bleeding. I ain't following up that, That ain't something right. You understand? That ain't something right at all. From a bleeding, from a surgery. Shady?
Boy, something wrong.
Yeah, that's something real off. That's something real off. 4-year-old child, man. I'm looking at the picture right now. I mean, it's so much chauvinist. I don't like. It's a sad story, but yeah, somebody wants this story. It's on Eyewitness News. You can check it out on Eyewitness News. Somebody telling me to send it. It's on Eyewitness, so you can check it out yourself. Somebody said the child should not have been discharged soon after the procedure. Yes, which is true. You know what I mean? I guess they probably thought that all right, you're good and well now. You know what I mean? It's a real sad story, man. It's always like that's the reason why Vincent is free to go to hospital, You know that?
Yes, you can come back.
Yeah. And this incident happened Sunday night, around, well, let me see. It was Sunday night. Yeah. Sunday night. After 9. And I went down hospital on Sunday night too, Yes. Probably around the same time. Yeah, I literally dropped off somebody at the hospital. Probably around the same time, almost 10 o'clock. Yeah. Man, this is craziness. I see why people free to go hospital. People literally free to go hospital. Some people rather sit down home with pain than to go hospital. For real. Some crazy thing, man. Somebody said my aunt died from a broken leg. And this was from a broken leg. So you could imagine. It's a touching story. Well, anyways, we got some commercials coming up. 19 after the 8 o'clock hour. And we still got Kenzo coming up later too. Yeah, man, big up Kenzo.
Mr. Weeks as well.
And we also got Weeks. I haven't heard from Weeks in a minute, man. Somebody been asking if he got banned from Boom.
No, Weeks on every time. All the time.
Yeah. Alright, shout out to Mr. Weeks. I'll go on some commercials and come right back right here inside OMG in the morning. Don't move.
Throwback.
Thursday. That no matter where you are, you're covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact Live. Party.
Always wanted a motorcycle, but they've been too expensive. I pass in on my way to work, and then boom, I see courts of motorcycles outside. I'm excited. I get up one day, I go down, I spoke to this guy. I think his name was Sheena, this short, chubby little guy, I purchased 2 bikes so far. It was the 150 SL and the 250 Dragon. This blue, beautiful AKT TT Dragon, this is my baby. I call her Becky. She gives me the best ride ever. My name is Storyboy Nick, and I live to ride my AKT.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs.
At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Your vision is our mission at Kurtz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.kurtzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Kurtz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in store for details.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact live. Party from home. Subscribe, follow, send us your voice notes. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, or call us live in studio. Be where the world is going. Stay home and connect online. Boom 1069, IKTV. Join the evolution. It's all about you. Connect now.
Discover new Guinness Smooth. Perfectly balanced for a smooth, refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth.
Your vision is our mission at Kurtz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.kurtzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Kurtz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in store for details.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact live. Party from home. Subscribe, follow.
2-4. Throwback Thursday.
I am a winner, 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 I am a winner. I'm on top of the world. There ain't no bringing me down. I'm on top of the world. There ain't no bringing me down. Tell them I was born to win. Tell them I was born to win.
Bring drinks, start the vibe. Right now celebration time. Congratulations, man. I'm so high right now, cloud nine. Get a youth of it like in a life. And in case you can't tell me full of
all of this. Are you talking a problem, Charles? Oh,
I'm on top of the
world. All the good body girls.
There ain't no bringing me down.
Thursday.
Tell them I was born to win.
All of the ready up, y'all them. All the good body, y'all them. Throw me your hand them. This is your anthem. All of the ready up, y'all them. Stick up, wine and go down then. Stick up, wine on the side then. Stick up, bubble and lay then. Stick up, all of the ready up, y'all them. Stick up, wine and go down then. Stick up, wine on the side then. Stick up, bubble and lay then. Stick up. Do what you feel like, everybody realize. Do what you feel like, everybody realize. Do what you feel like, everybody realize. Do what you feel like.
Aligale, I know you want piece of this. Aligale, I know you want piece of this. Piece of this girl, piece of this, piece of this girl, what piece of this? Piece of this girl, piece of this. Come see me if you want piece of this. Piece of this girl, piece of this, piece of this girl, what piece of this? Piece of this girl, piece of this. Girl, right there, ride it up, up it, ride it up, up it, ride it up, up it, ride it up.
Them bam not rolling. Switch the gear from 4 to 5. High sit up, don't slip, no slide. Down the flank, now all you glide. Them bam not rolling. Show me how you love to ride. Grip the corner, hold it tight. Make it sway from side to side. Y'all ride. Give me the bicycle wine. Jack it up, back it up one time. Up the wheelie and hold on tight. To the right, watch the ride. Give me the bicycle wine. Jack it up, back it up one time. Up the wheelie and hold on tight. To the right. Them bam no stop. Rock carnival time when the girl them walk. Them bam no stop. Make man.
Hey, back on the inside with some feel-good music. 28 after the 8 o'clock.
This year so we come with a dance.
And if you're now turning on the radio, welcome inside OMG in the morning.
Misbehave, everything done every time and the place. Now waste the time so use your waistline. Ladies come take up the front line. You make on your roll like ants in the spine. Shift your hip to the side and roll your waistline. Can roll, show off the hips when you roll. Stick to the heavy T bumper. Slow, hand on your head and you're whining low, low, low. Look back, girl. Show off the hips when you got can roll. Stick to the side and whine it back slow. Hand on your head and you're whining low. Girl, give them man the hook wine. Give them man the hook wine. Give them man the hook wine. Give them man the hook wine.
Let me shout out to my people down there in Beckway. Good morning to my Beckway crew. To the folks on the JOB right now, good morning to you guys.
And roll like thunder, girl. Lord, your heavy structure, girl. Lord, your heavy structure, girl. Lord, your heavy structure, girl. Make your waist and roll like thunder, girl. Make me man them want it. Turn around your bumper and flaunt it. In your low rise jeans bumper, look at me and have man behaving real drastic. Now move over, skinny bumper, girl. Move over, narrow bumper, girl. Flat bumper, get left behind. Kill them with the heavy T wine. No man can't mash up the structure. Chuff the girl with the heavy T bumper. The heavy T, heavy T, heavy T, heavy T, heavy T, heavy T, heavy T bumper, girl. They can't mash up the system. Touch your waist, they end up in problem. The heavy T, heavy T, heavy T, heavy T, heavy T, heavy T. Can't come back and up. Lord, the heavy structure, girl. Up. Lord, the heavy structure, girl. Up. Lord, the heavy structure, girl. Make your waist and roll like thunder, girl. Up. Lord, the heavy structure, girl. Up. Lord, the heavy structure, girl. Up. Lord, the heavy structure, girl.
She fed up body jumping, she fed up body waving, she fed up body rise up, she fed up body flies up. Had enough of the drinking songs, fed up hear them say wine to the ground. Can't take no more, turn it around. She fed up and over, she say tonight she wanna wine and hold on tight and stick onto me body whole night. DJ, don't you change the vibes, let me and my baby stick on. Come up on me as close as you can, baby, and stick on. Baby, come stick on. Press on me and hold me tighter, baby, and stick on. Baby, come stick on.
You're so fine, so fine, yeah. I'm feeling good, girl, I'm feeling good. I don't wanna fight this feeling. Girl, I'm in the mood, and I'm ready for food. Cause my appetite is rising. Shake it, shake it, shake. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Turn it over, take. Wine, pan me, gal, all night. Shake it, shake it, shake. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Turn it over, take. Wine, pan me, gal, all night. Gal, turn on the fire. In your outfit that is so tight, yeah. Push back on me fender. When you work it, that feels so right, yeah. And girl, wind down low, do it fast and slow. I love the way you feel when the bassline flows.
It's about that time where we're gonna make some way for Mr. Weeks. Gonna be joining us live right here inside OMG. So, Mr. Weeks, if you're out there listening right now, you can call us 4511069. All right, it's your time. I haven't told you in a while, and the people them asking for you, like they're requesting your way.
Time to connect with the most loved man on radio. Sir Lancelot is in the building.
So yes, once again, Mr. Weeks, that's your cue. Hit us up right now on the inside. Let's go. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
What's going on? How are you doing?
I'm good, man.
Nice. Nice to hear your voice. Life treating you good?
Yeah, man. I'm at the stage of my life where I just have to live good, you know?
Everybody.
Yeah. Shady, morning, sir.
Mr. Weeks.
Yeah, I heard you all morning.
Yeah, I was talking about the high fuel price.
Okay.
Somebody was inquiring why it's so high, why it keep going up, and if St. Vincent is the only Caribbean island gas price going up.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. I want to say greetings to all those who are listening. And this morning, first of all, I want to see, I heard Dr. Richards having a presentation yesterday. I didn't hear all of it. I heard towards the end. And he was making some interesting points. As I said, I didn't hear the beginning, but from what I heard, I think he was talking about how we treat each other. TREAT, how we treat each other. And it's interesting. I also want to speak just a little bit about two traffic issues. One is with respect to these oversized trucks.
The big trucks?
Trailers that we have on the roads. We have recently spent over 20, I'm not sure the exact figure, probably closer to 30 than $20 million to rehabilitate and improve what I prefer to be called the South Leeward Highway. I think it has another name. And there are two things there. One is general across the country, but I've noticed it on that fairly new road, where these oversized trucks are actually driving on the curb. And wherever there's a sidewalk, they're driving on it. And these areas were designed and constructed to facilitate pedestrian. So I don't think that they're reinforced as much as the carriageway, the surface the road surface is, and it is there for destroying.
So
That
is it that they're too big or too wide for the road?
Well, I guess that's the issue, that they're too big. Certainly they can, if the entire roadway was available to them, they can maneuver comfortable. But when you have the two lanes, when the two lanes not available to them, especially in corners, they're driving on the curb and they're destroying the roads. Another area specific to that South Beechwood Highway is that intersection near to Nemo headquarters in Montrose. I mean, I don't drive, but I listen to drivers. I am in vehicles all the time and observe the difficulty that drivers have there, because I don't think there are directional signs and the place is not properly marked out. I would like to believe that there have been accidents taking place there, because almost every time I pass it, there's a near miss. And I don't think statistically every time it would be a near miss. Some would hit. But I believe that may just be a major accident in waiting. So those responsible, whether it's the police or the Ministry of Transport, I just want to encourage them to put up some proper signage and proper markings on the road, so that persons, drivers can know what space is available to them. The other thing I want to speak about quickly, gentlemen, is a number of persons have recently been promoted in the public service of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have a new commissioner serving in an acting capacity. We have a new assistant commissioner serving in an acting capacity. A permanent secretary in the Ministry of National Security. Rodney Small serving as head of the Commission for the Prevention of Crime. And I assume there are several others, because once there's movement at the top, there will be movement further down and sometimes all the way down. I want to congratulate all of these officers. I want to congratulate them and to encourage them to serve and remind them that their duty to serve the public of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's why you're called public servants. That's why they're paid. That's why these jobs are created. It's created for them to serve. I want to focus just a little bit on the police, because that's an area that is looked at all the time. Given, one, their importance, and two, what is happening in our society currently in terms of the violent crimes that are taking place. I mean, we can list them. Many of them are the way they occur are new to St. Vincent. And sometimes I get the impression that we have crossed over that line that should be in the ground in terms of the criminality that takes place in St. Vincent. We hear about them in New York, the parts of the United States. We hear about them in Jamaica and Trinidad and elsewhere. But these the way some of these crimes are conducted, it can have a chilling effect on our society. It can cripple our society. And therefore, all of us need to play our part in reducing it. But the police, they have a special role in doing so, because they're paid to keep the peace. And I listened to an interview involving the new commissioner, and I noticed his emphasis on peace, which is good. So all of us have to play our part in keeping the peace. It's not just the role of the police. We have to become more tolerant, more reasonable in how we deal with each other. We have to make it our responsibility. But I want to give our commission, it's not, some persons would argue it is above my pay grade to give our commissioner responsibility, but I believe it is his responsibility. So that's why even though I'm giving it to him, I probably just simply reminding him that he has to take responsibility for the men and women whom he works with and who work with him. He has to take responsibility for their actions and the work they do. I'm not saying he must take blame. There may be times when he can be blamed. But taking blame and taking responsibility are two different things. If you take responsibility, it means that you will hold yourself accountable. And in so doing, you will hold the men and women who take these actions accountable as well. And I think far too often, we don't see that in the police. I understand that to some extent, they are providing a military type service. And in the military, you need to have loyalty. I understand that fully well. Because each other, you have to watch each other's back. So you have to have loyalty. But also equally, you have to have discipline. There must be discipline. And when your colleagues step out of line and they are not as disciplined as they should be, they are not as responsible as they should be, you can't simply think that because you want them to be loyal to you, that you must be loyal to them and you must ignore them and you must cover up what they do. I think that's one of the mistakes the outgoing commissioner made. Yes, you must support your men and the men and women who work with you. But as I said previously, you must hold them accountable. There are many of these policemen and women who do simply do stupidness.
Do you think they're doing more? Do you think the police are doing more towards the crimes here in St. Vincent lately?
I don't understand the question. Can you?
Like if they're putting in more work into investigating certain crimes, certain criminal activities.
I believe they are too, because the nature of the crimes that are committed, they need to put in more effort, but we're not seeing the result. We have had some major crimes, some serious crimes committed recently, and we have not heard of anybody arrested. And the police themselves, they need additional support. But they must demand it. I know, for instance, in some of our neighboring countries, it has become almost automatic that the police is going to catch the criminal. There's still serious criminality, but it is almost automatic that they will catch the criminal. And the justice system has been reformed to the extent that trials are held expeditiously, quickly, and persons are sentenced when found guilty. The difference between one of those countries and ours is that they use more advanced techniques in solving their crime. They have, I believe, more advanced training, and they have more advanced technologies available to them.
Yeah, and I think I saw something the other day concerning officers now going to be starting to wearing body cams and things like police in New York and so on.
Yes, but that is all part of the discipline which we welcome. That is part of holding them accountable, and to some extent holding the public that these police interact with accountable to, because you would have an image, you would have images, and you would have video and audio in terms of interaction that takes place.
Right.
But when I talk about the resources that the police need, for example, some time ago, the state attempted to establish a forensic lab. And I believe that effort was thwarted solely by a senior civil servant at the time. A very senior civil servant who attempted to overreach, who didn't have the experience. And I believe that is why that forensic lab didn't get anywhere. With good sense, the lab was placed outside of the Ministry of National Security. But persons in the Ministry of National Security attempted to control and manage the lab. And I don't think the lab got anywhere. And that is something that we need to revisit, because I understand, for example, in Jamaica, forensic is a very important part of their investigation, and they're doing very well in their investigation.
Somebody's asking a question here. There was a story that was published on Eyewitness News of a murder accused being freed and only being charged for illegal possession of a weapon. Well, everyone knows the story about that. The dead man was defending the old lady from the pit bull dog, and the guy killed him for defending himself. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't quite remember the story, so I can't really comment reasonably on it.
But I think I saw it, and it's literally up on Eyewitness News.
Yeah, I haven't read it, so I can't comment reasonably on it. But if there's one thing I want to make clear today is that our commissioner, even though he's only acting, and all of the ranks, senior and junior, in the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, must make a special effort to hold themselves responsible and hold those around them responsible. Finally, I want to say before I go that even I'm saying it to the police, I think it relates, and all public officials should take this approach to the job. The job you have is a professional one. It's based on certain expertise you have, certain experience you have, training, etc. So that you should be able to look at an issue through those lenses, through your training, through your experience, through the position that you hold. And I think there are too many persons who tender advice, who tender information, especially to politicians, based on what they think is good politically. Sometimes what the politicians want to hear. Sometimes what will make the politician look good. But that doesn't help the politician. Leave political decisions, political maneuverings to the politicians. If you give them the best information that is available to you and the best advice that you can based on the position you hold, I believe the politicians would be able to make better political decisions and take better political action. So I just want to say that to those in leadership, especially across the public service, and those in the police especially, in as much as we have a new commissioner, that tender advice, especially when you're doing so privately, tender advice that is best guided by your expertise, your training, and try to be as professional at all times. I believe that's the best way you can support a politician. Thank you, gentlemen.
Quickly before you leave, I see someone now send me a voice note here. I think you might want to hear. All right.
Morning, guys. Morning, Simmons and Grindings. I heard Mr. Weeks is, in a sense, echoing the sentiments of the majority of the population. He's alluded to that. I mean, most of these appointments are made not based on the people's competence to perform in the position, but more so people who is aligned or associated to the people who are responsible to making these decisions. I would like to ask him a question. Is he of the opinion that, generally speaking, in the public service in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the statutory body, 90 or 95% are more the persons who are appointed as square pegs in wrong hole? Mr. Weeks, I would like for you to answer that question for me, please, if you can. Thank you very much.
So respectfully, you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't. Your forward, your introduction into your statement, I never implied that. Never intended to. I didn't say anybody was selected based on their political leaning. What I said is that the persons who hold their position, these positions, must tender advice not on the basis of what they think politicians want to hear. Because I don't think that all of these officers, officials, may necessarily support the political party that is in office. I don't know that our officials are square pegs in round holes. 90% of them. So you're being ridiculous. Our civil service, our public service currently is the best trained ever in the history of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Look around it. You will see that our public service, our public officials are the best trained in the history of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They may not be the most experienced because many of them are very young. Many of them in leadership position are very young. But they have significant training that too often we take for granted. And that is my call today, that they must not take their training for granted. They must operate based on the training that they have received and give advice based on the training that they have. And whatever limited experience, give advice they have on that basis. So those are my comments for this morning, gentlemen.
Yes,
and
man.
thank you for having me.
No problem. All right, that was Mr. Weeks right there, man. Got about 3 on to the top of the 9 o'clock. Got a quick commercial break, then we're going to shut this one down. We still got plenty more to go right here inside OMG in the morning. Don't move.
Throwback Thursday.
We've got 101 reasons for you to shop at Quartz now. Get up to 35%
Isn't it
off
good to
selected.
know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metro Saint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metro Saint General Insurance Company.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact Live. Party.
Always wanted a motorcycle, but they've been too expensive. I pass in on my way to work, and then boom, I see courts of motorcycles outside. I'm excited. I get up one day, I go down, I spoke to this guy. I think his name was Sheena, this short, chubby little guy, you know. I purchased 2 bikes so far. It was the 150 SL and the 250 Dragon. This blue, beautiful AKT TT Dragon. This is my baby. I call her Becky. She gives me the best ride ever. My name is Storyboy Nick, and I live to ride my AKT.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metro Saint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metro Saint General Insurance Company.
Your vision is our mission at Quartz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.quartzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in store for details.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact Live. Party from home. Subscribe, follow, send us your voice notes. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, or call us live in studio. Be where the world is going. Stay home and connect online. Boom 1069, IKTV. Join the evolution. It's all about you. Connect now.
Discover New Guinness Smooth. Perfectly balanced for a smooth, refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth.
Your vision is our mission at Quartz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.quartzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in-store for details.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentions that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact live. Party from home. Subscribe, follow, send us your voice notes. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, or call us live in studio. Be where the world is going. Stay home and connect online. Boom 1069, IKTV. Join the evolution. It's all about you. Connect now.
For the love you drop me, was you dear me, baby? Who are on the mount? Oh, you cuss out to the film. Whenever me say ready, she up. Me rich and famous, she no give up, ha ha. She didn't call me regular, ha ha. That turn me on so much. Me girl, you do me so right. Me girl, me fi tell you. Hook up me body, girl, and do no leg on. Me girl, you no regular, they on another level. Me fi tell you, me say I me fi tell you. Baby, your body be calling, I'm like, baby, hello. So many things, baby, I wanna tell you. Like you do me so right, baby, I gotta tell you. Wanna tell you, baby, I me fi tell you.
So what's up in a me back? Fingernail just scratching a me back.
Thursday.
I still put me put that in a the socks. She a grab all pan in that in a me laps. Made her know she chopping a me chop. She a tick like the tack in a the clock. She did cool, now she hot in a the spot. Give her everything me got, baby. I could love you want, talk love you want. I can see it in your eyes. I could love you want, feel love you want. I can see it in your eyes. I could love you want, talk love you want. I can see it in your eyes, your eyes, your eyes, your eyes. I can see it.
I make you feel like me fly, oh. It's just a good touch, I tell you. Get up on the person, matter who that I am. It's just a good touch, I tell you. Make you feel like me fly, oh. It's just a good touch, I tell you. Get up on me person, matter who that I am. It's just a good touch, I tell you.
Your body are the highest. Your body are the gold. Girl, me move mountains just to see you wine for me. I love it when you move, baby. Turn back queer, wine for me. I love it when you move, baby. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it. You always feel good when we touch up, you get. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it. You always feel good when we touch up, you get. Tell me if you like it. No, you can't do good for you. People are ask if we not married, but girl, me not too just well-wisher. Some of them don't want to see we life happy. Anything where you want, you fi ask for that. Take a plane, go a France, pan the Eiffel top. Buy a Dalmatian, but you ask what that. Me change it for your poodle. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it. You always feel good when we touch up, you get. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it. You always feel good when we touch up.
6 after the 9 o'clock.
You get. Tell me.
Brace for me.
Inside some dance, also back-to-back Vibes Cartel.
Don't hold me so tight. Do anything where you please or you like. The love and the freak them come out at night. If you give your man bun, that is alright. God will forgive you if you tell him a lie. Straight shit like a thief in the night. No matter what you do, you want my baby. Young, cause I want, cause I say. You feel set like you want broke your neck, young. Anything where you want, you will get. Anything where you want, you will get, young. In a life, in a death.
Let me shout out to the staff working out there at Truckman's Depot. Right down on Annisville, Chester boy. Good morning to you guys. Shout out to Didi. Morning, Didi.
Me love when you wind up and when you wind. Girl, you want to dance on in the summertime. Enough girl and girls, you want that me fine. But tell a little girl that me join the line. See your face and your shape, them bad in mind. Cause you capture me and captivate me mind. You know we'll run from 1,000 times. Just do what the teacher said. Cause I mind, cause I say. You feel set like you want broke your neck, yeah. Anything where you want, you will get. Anything where you want, you will get, yeah. In a life, in a death, and you feel set, you want stick on it, yeah. Anything where you want, you will get.
That's why me want a girl. A special kind of girl. Yes, a girl when want to wind up on me.
Throwback Thursday.
Wind up your body, not the light low. Come here, girl, make that strike you. You have the fire fi ignite you. Turn it up, call me like you. A good body, girl, every man dream. Your body no fi slacky for your African queen. Body no fi dirty, body you fi clean. Your body you fi make a man walk and dream. And I say, why you take so long to come over? Rain a fall, expecting the rain. Baby, I play you like a Spanish guitar, over and over again.
Baby girl, you look so good tonight, good tonight, good tonight. Seeing you dance in the flashing lights, flashing lights, flashing lights. Dance floor box full of people, you and I in the middle, and the DJ's playing our favorite songs. One by one, I'm feeling your heartbeat pulling me closer, closer. One by one, with every touch, I'm feeling it stronger, stronger. One by one, believe you and me, we're falling in love. 'Cause all the faces are fading around us. One by one.
You feel my loving on the floor. She feel the sweetest thing. She a see her little boyfriend Liam. So she want a real man take her on a tour. Yeah, let's ride to the east to the mansion. You been waiting for me long, long. So me play our favorite song.
One by one, I'm feeling your heartbeat pulling me closer, closer. One by one, with every touch, I'm feeling it stronger, stronger. One by one, believe with me.
It's that kind of vibe that will definitely make your day.
Faces are fading around us. One by one.
Throwback Thursday.
And let me tell you guys what's going down quickly with our Flow. It's all about cash back with Flow. This October, Flow is giving you all your cash back. That sound good. In a time like this, boy, with fuel price and thing gone up, you're definitely gonna need it. Yeah, that's right. Pay off your Flow bill and be one of the lucky customers to get all your cash back from Flow each and every week. Hey, visit Flow store or pay your bill online or any of the Flow partner store to get your cash back today, all right? So I think I'm gonna get my brethren, Mr. Cancer King, coming in right here. Yeah, boy, it's that time. She make sure you play the man stop me, you know, man. Yeah, like hear it.
Hey, big up to Winston. Winston like hear that to him. I say every time you hear that, he goes out your laugh. So yeah, Mr. Kenzo King is going to call us right now, 4511069. You know the number already. You have us on speed dial. Yeah, man. And let me shout out to all the fans on the road. In the meantime,
I want to say thanks to those who voted for Labour, but now a ball.
Hello, good morning.
Gentlemen.
Yes, what's going on?
Shady morning, buddy. Really doing? What's up, brother?
I like that drop the tone. Yes, man, good morning.
It's reality, brother.
I telling you.
I enjoy the topic that Mr. Weeks was on this morning.
Yeah.
The sad thing is that we fail to put our finger on something or accept something, even though we know it. And that is the fact that, just give me a second.
Yeah, take your time. The voice of Mr. Kenzo King. Precious Jewel, I see you on the check-in. Good morning, wake up. What's going on?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, no see.
Yeah, it's the fact that in the civil service and in St. Vincent, we have seen where now people are placed in positions not because of merit, but because of who they support. And that is fact. We have seen so many people victimized from being put into positions that they can really, really make a difference in. You know what I mean? To be replaced and have people put into position who are there simply to please the politician.
Yeah.
So while Mr. Weeks is calling on people to be professional in the duty, many of them can't. And the second thing is that they won't put them in the first place to be professional either.
Right.
They were put there as a tool. Look, we have seen over the years, for the past decade plus, well, as a matter of fact, for the past 2 decades, because when this ULP administration just got into office, you know the amount of people's jobs they made redundant who were deemed NDP. For example, look at Vinlec. You have people like Miss Eustace and others who were kicked out from there. You know? Look at Treasury and all of these places. You have so many places where jobs were made redundant just to get rid of people. Bragsa. You know? So when we are calling for people to be professional, we also have to be honest. Because a lot of these people are placed into position just as tools. And also, you have persons, we wonder why so much young people. You remember yesterday I spoke about that documentary that came out that named St. Vincent and so forth. Maybe about 50 people sent me that thing last night again.
Wow. That was a reminder.
You know what I mean? I'm like, so many people just in one day. I can't believe so many people found that documentary.
Can we find it online by chance?
I'll forward it to Shady. It's on YouTube actually.
Alright, I'll check it out.
Right? I'll forward it to Shady. The thing is, my brother, and just before I came on, something else hit me. And this is the kind of thing that has us having this mass migration, brain drain and so forth out of St. Vincent. We're not having the best that we can have here because of the same victimization and favoritism. For example, and Mr. Weeks can attest to this anytime he calls back. Bassi Alexander's granddaughter, she came out, I think, was top in her class from nursing and was denied a job simply because of who her grandfather was. Mr. Weeks commented on that. He was PS at the time. But who could have done differently? Did he as PS boy know? Yes, he said it was wrong. From what was said, he said it was wrong. But did he have the balls as PS, head of the ministry? Did he have the balls to say, listen, this is wrong, He said it was wrong, but did he have the balls to act and correct the wrong? No, he didn't. And this is the kind of thing that, yes, it is one thing to say something is wrong, but are you going to step up and be the one to try to correct it because you have the power to do so? That's the other thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not picking on Mr. Weeks, I'm just using that one as an example, because just before I call, as I said, I saw a post again made about that same situation, so it just came back to my mind.
Right.
And this is the kind of issue that we have here. We have seen, I remember some years ago, brother, over a decade ago, a matter of fact, almost 2 decades, because I was young in the civil service. And we had some training doing. And it was somebody from Services Commission who was doing that training. And one of the things that came out was, such disrespect and all of this is now in the civil service, because people no longer go through the proper channels. You see, the middle management of the civil service is basically right now a resting ground, or sometimes a place where it's just simply there until, let's say, maybe somebody does something, and it's somebody who is not maybe somebody who is a supporter of the present party that is in power, and so somebody will pounce on them in a disciplinary manner. But other than that, it's non-existent, because usually people go from below straight up to the top, even past the PS, straight to the politician, forgetting that the politician has no power per se in the service. The PS is the one with the power in the service. You will report to the minister, yes, but the PS is the head of whatever ministry. And so when you have people right now being sent, you have this whole process being circumvented of going through the Services Commission, which the Constitution of St. Vincent said them alone have the power to hire and fire people and deal with discipline and all of that. The Constitution. The Services Commission's regulations is a part of our Constitution.
Yeah.
And they have sole power to hire, fire, or discipline in the civil service, and to give promotions. And we have seen where they have seceded their power to the politician, and again that was brought out in court, not once. And even as recent as in the vaccine mandate case that the unions and so forth had brought against the state, it was shown and it was said in that judgment. It said the Service Commission literally gave its power to the politicians, which was wrong. And we see where people no longer go through the process of applying for a job. Sometimes you just say, oh, such and such politician call and say, this person come in, or that person come in. Brother, when you look at a place like prison, where I think you're supposed to properly vet people and all of these things, I know of persons who was just sent by a politician. Just sent
to prison?
To prison to work. Just sent, brother. Just sent. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get where you're coming from.
It goes so far that even the police force, they had persons with criminal background being drafted into the police force.
So it's a pull string thing.
It's a pull string thing. And then we wonder why we can't have professionalism.
Yeah.
We wonder why all of these places, especially the gatekeepers of our democracy, have been so corrupted. It's because of this kind of crap. People cannot be professional in their jobs when you have this reminder over your head, oh, you're missing here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And most of them are in positions that they know they're not qualified for. But guess what? Somebody send them, so what? I'll be holding to you. Even, one of the sickest thing that gets to me, brothers, is when you hear supposedly intelligent people, persons who will look upon as intellectuals because they would have gone to university. It's when you hear they tell you, oh, I have to support this or that person, or I have to do this or that because if not be for them, I would have reached a university. How dotish can you be? The money didn't come out of their pocket. If you got a scholarship, it didn't come from them. Contrary to what some will want you to believe, the scholarship didn't come from them. And it's not out of their pocket that the money come in, even though they award you a scholarship.
Right.
And when I see that scholarships here, when people just now taking it as a norm, my brothers, to say, oh, go to the Prime Minister. When Camilo in delivering a speech one time talk about, oh, you could go to the private, like really? And they have normalized this thing where they have people believing that every single thing you have to go to a politician. No. And that is why they would like people like me and others who will say, no, this is what the rules say. Not what no politician say, or what this or that person say, or what you want to make the norm. This is what the book say. And when I was at work, I've been on suspension for since 2020. And one thing after the next, but guess what? I will always stay ahead of them because even when I'm at work, senior officers could tell, I will tell you when you come at me on the book because I work on the book. So when you come to me, because most people only use the book for punishment, not for anything else. They don't try to use the book to try to uplift people. They don't even train people anymore. I guarantee you, take all of the persons who went into the service, let's say, and I'm going to stretch it here because I'm so confident.
Right.
Let's say the persons who went into the system in the last 15 years. I am going to guarantee you guys know about 2% know about the rules that govern them in the civil service. About 2%. If so much. And I'm stretching it. Because most people you talk to, they know nothing about the financial and store rules, the civil service orders, the service commission's regulations, and these things. They know nothing about them.
So somebody's asking, are you saying nepotism was voted under this administration, or is it more now?
I am not saying it was voted under this administration, but it is very blatant now.
It's more low.
And as a matter of fact, brother, let me say to the person who asked the question, these are things we will never get rid of out of society. It's human beings we're dealing with. But at the end of the day, it's how we manage it. Now, from what I know, most times you couldn't even study nepotism and let's say victimization per se under the previous administration, because then people had that economic freedom. That allowed them that bravery and that capacity to could say, man, tell your skin, I don't need you. So the government did not have that hand per se, but under this regime, the moment they got in, one of the first things they went after, the Banana Association, to destroy it. The Banana Association had millions in it. And we have seen a trend when it comes to this administration, where every single thing, all the grassroots, you tell me now they are trying to bring back grassroots organizations in communities and constituencies when they existed and were strong. Instead, they were infiltrated and destroyed. Because guess what? Keep the people them dotish, take away the togetherness, and they will be able to control them. And that is what happened. No, people are controlled by their belly because people hardly have time to really look around them to see what is happening. Because why? Everybody is looking for the next meal.
They're done so distracted already too.
That's it. That's it. And then the set people who are keeping them hungry are the ones to come with the food because they have the power, they control the food. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you and Shady a question. If I control the water that you two have to drink, right? And over time, I withhold the water. And then you become so thirsty. So thirsty. You feel like you're dead. And I give you a glass of water to drink each. Am I the villain or the hero?
You're both. You're basically playing both. You're more of the bad guy than the good guy.
But what do you think you're going to see me as?
A hero because you caught us at a desperate time.
Exactly.
Which we know exactly that you have the water that we need.
Exactly, brother. Because guess what? Over time, you're going to forget that I'm the villain.
Yeah.
Because I gave you water to drink. At that time, you are only focused on survival.
Yeah.
And guess what? Knowing that I control the water and I can take it whenever I feel, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to try to be in my good graces. Yeah. You're going to see me as God because guess what? I'm here to save your life every time you're thirsty. That is what we have now. And it comes right back to the same thing that Mr. Weeks was saying, but I'm saying people cannot be professional when they feel they are beholden to somebody, and also the fear of losing what they have. Again, why do you think all of these things were taken away? The economic prowess of our people were taken away and put into a place that is basically controlled by the higher ups. Now you have people in the civil service and the government being the biggest employer. Why I think that is so? It's so that at the end of the day, your survival is dependent on me. So you better walk the line or else. So people can't even be professional. Civil servants sit and lie, give false reports simply because to protect a politician. So we are not going to see this proper professional kind of thing that we have to see and need to see. For example, you take Rodney Small and put Rodney Small to head NCCP, really? To be director of NCCP? Jomo spoke about it yesterday. You have to be crazy. That is the we're serious about crime. Look at the amount of millions we keep on hearing being spent year in, year out. Yet St. Vincent is still poor. We keep on hearing about so much loans. Look around you at the reality and tell me what you're seeing. You're still struggling every day. Well, thank you, Hamo, for slapping me yesterday with facts. About it being over 50%. Because, and he's right. Because if back in 2018 you had 46% according to the 2018 poverty assessment report that this government didn't try to hide. Thank God for coming. Their own poverty assessment report back then said 46% unemployment, youth unemployment. So Hamo is right. It will be over 50-something% now because they have more young people of working age unemployed. But this government is simply more about optics, and not just optics, but more dangerously brainwashing.
I see Rodney now send me a picture. On the picture it says poverty is man-made. It's not natural.
It is man-made.
Yeah.
It is man-made.
Yeah.
So the thing is, brothers, is that when you have this government here, this when you have Ralph Gonsalves, let me call his name because he's the one who instituted it. Make an institution to have young people come in and be taught politics, political education. They made a political education institute by the ULP, run by the ULP, taught by the ULP and Ralph's ideologies. You think that is not dangerous? You're more focused on that than actually taking the young people and say, hey, I'm going to work on the young people to make them better. Not by bringing them up into an ideology. Not by putting an ideology on them. But actually to make them better, to be more productive and actually work on the productive sectors. How much money are actually here going into our productive sectors in St. Vincent to make them better? Yearly, our expenditure supersedes our revenue. Sometimes up to by 4 times, 5 times. And then you hear we're going for another loan. Not to hear and see, because they will come and give and show you Saboto with a bag of dasheen on the head. Saboto with the foot up on top some boxes where some people have going to send overseas that he had no hand in helping. But they will come and they will tell you, oh, we have such and such millions. Brother, how long have we been hearing the government talking about they're going to deal with poultry so that our poultry intake, the amount that we import will be lessened. Where that gone? That was something that was big and run on, I think, in 2010. Where that gone?
And they rug probably.
Exactly. I think it was since 2005 they were talking about that. All of a sudden they're no longer hearing about that. They talk about meats and so forth production. They're not hearing about that anymore. All of these things that will help Vincentians, that will cut our spending bill, that will make Vincentians a more proud people, help us to support local, put money into the local pocket and the local economy. Them things are not priority. Getting on the UN Security Council to tap with chest to say, oh, we are the smallest nation. Getting to head CELAC, oh, with this. You know what I mean? Yeah. These are the kinds of things that are important because it's not about St. Vincent, it's about one man's legacy. Yeah. And the quicker people sit down and realize these things, the quicker we'll move forward. But you see, the sad thing is, when you have the person appearing as savior and likable, it's something else. I'll tell you this before I go. There's a thing called subvergence. I've said it here so many times. Go and look at it. The 5 points of subvergence. Look that up. And listen carefully to what that Russian defector tell you about subvergence. And then look at St. Vincent. But just before I go, let me just touch on this thing with this young child that died.
Yeah.
Some friends of mine from South Rivers, it's their child.
And I was talking about it earlier on too.
Right.
Yeah.
Brother, what I can understand is this. And I hope that I see them to tell them, find themselves at either Jomo office or somewhere. Go and get some legal advice. Don't make nobody tell you that oh you can't do this and that here. Get some legal advice. There's enough there for me in my mind to warrant having a case brought against this state here or against the hospital or the doctor or whoever. You're going to tell me that you're going to take a 4-year-old child and put that child on ibuprofen? But ibuprofen is one of the most dangerous things in the world. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it is.
And to put a young child of 4 years on that and then pretend like, oh, you want to have the parents feeling that, oh, it's there for, oh, the child must have fallen off the bed. Brother, we have little babies, 2 months old, 3 months old, they might make a roll and fall off the bed, they never dead.
Yeah.
What kind of fall a child could get to cause that kind of injury internally when that you wanted to tell the parents? Yeah? Ibuprofen is something that is not even recommended for certain adults.
I will say too strong.
But that's it.
Yeah.
And ibuprofen, anything ibuprofen and you call it aspirin.
Aspirin and
these are things that have been proven, listen to the word, proven, to cause bleeding of the brain, bleeding of soft organs and tissues. They know these things. And even as an adult, you have to be so careful the dosage you take. Much more to give that to a child. Yeah. And then pretend, this is the part that bothers me, pretend as though it's the parents' fault. You know the kind of burden you put on the parents there?
Craziness, man.
Wicked.
Craziness.
Just to protect your own tail.
Yeah.
So now that the autopsy has shown what has happened, you know what's sad? It's to hear that the person who did the autopsy say, oh, you can't blame the doctor. You can't what? and then want to tell you one in how much children when they take it is liable to die. Did you tell this to the parents before you gave this to the child? Did they have informed consent? Did they give informed consent before this?
You know what I mean?
Brother, there's a reason why there's a fact sheet inside of all of these things here, because you must have it. That is why it's not so easy to sue these companies and so forth, because when you now have informed consent, okay, this could happen, that could happen, it's your decision.
Yeah.
But did you give this to the parents that, boy, it's possible that your child could suffer bleeding, your child could suffer organ damage and so forth by giving them this? You still?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't done. I'm sure that wasn't done. And that's never done, because when you are in the hospital or clinic here and you go to them for you go for something and you dare question whether this that you're going to give me, they vex with you.
And you're supposed to ask them too.
You're supposed to, and they're supposed to tell you.
They're supposed to tell you. Just like how they're asking you, you could ask them too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, for me, you're not going to just come tell me you're going to give me no injection and this and that. Me want where that be. And I thank God that I'm a person who loves to read and research a lot of stuff. So guess what? Me know plenty. Same thing, I have plenty of doctor know me know. Me might have the letters behind my name, but me know this stuff too. Thank God. I'll continue to call me Google Doctor, Mr. Bing. My partner love call me Mr. Google.
Mr. Google.
Yes.
It's always good to research, you know, man.
Of course.
Always.
So I'm saying, I am hoping that I see my brethren they are listening. Somebody tell them, find yourself at a lawyer's office. And find yourself in a serious lawyer's office. Yeah?
Yeah.
And I will recommend Jomwan Zita, K, one of these people who are serious. And somebody who won't give you no excuse. Let them educate you on the law. And then you decide from there if you want to go forward. But don't leave this hanging. Something has to be done. Precedents must be set here. You have a joyous young boy and then bam, and then you want to blame the parent. But then you who did the autopsy want to turn around and tell them, oh, you can't blame the doctor. What do you mean you can't blame the doctor? So you see where the protection of each other start? Them things wrong. So I hope that they decide and go to a lawyer. So thank you, gentlemen. Have a good morning.
Yeah, you too.
Bless.
You too, man. Thanks. All right, man. That was a serious point there from Kenson King. Hey, we got Pastor Richards coming up in about a few minutes. I see somebody calling. I can't take the call right now. A pastor coming up in about a few minutes. I got some commercials coming up quick. All right, so all of them move.
We giving you the best throwback.
I love it!
On 106.9.
Simple looking things in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are taken for granted every day. Do you ever
Get
wonder?
ready to experience the ultimate destination for relaxation, unwinding, and socializing at Hotel Alexandrina's Culture Bar and Grill. Immerse yourself in our vibrant ambiance and savor the exceptional flavors of our delicious menu. Our menu is a treasure trove of flavors, offering an extensive selection of wines, liquors, cocktails, mocktails, shots, and mouth-watering dishes. Get ready for a taste of Vincentian hospitality like never before. We're open Monday to Saturdays from 3 p.m. until Hotel Alexandrina's Culture Bar and Grill, where flavors come to life.
Paladin SVG Inc. Alarm Solution is second to none. We offer intrusion alarm systems, security radar, active infrared beams, and emergency alarm systems. Get perimeter protection for your premises. Active infrared beams protect large areas. Our radar video linkage solution sends data to PTZ cameras for active target tracking, so you can take immediate action. Intrusion alarm systems offer reliable protection and records video the moment the alarm is triggered and sends footage to users via email or the app. Intelligent alarm systems mean you can control your home from anywhere in the world. Find out more at Paladin SVG Inc. at telephone number 784-457-7241.
Employer's liability, business insurance, and much more. We've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrocin General Insurance Company. Call us today at 784.
Horizon, hardware, Horizon, one place, Horizon, the helpful place. Yo, Horizon is hardware, is the place for all of your home needs. If you want building materials, where you going? Horizon, Horizon, for paint and garden tools, where you going? Horizon, Horizon, electrical cables, find that at Horizon. We have everything for your home at Horizon. Located in Kingston, located in Annisville, Pembroke, Diamonds and Backwell. Shop at Horizon, hardware Horizon, helpful place Horizon, one place Horizon, Horizon, Horizon.
And this I wanna name Stu Baba Doobie Day. Tell you with a whole heap of smile coming your way. Oh baby, it's a new smile. Just smile. Never make them see you cry. Smile. Just smile. Never let them hold you down. Smile. Just smile. Never let them see you cry. Smile. Just smile. Never let them hold you down. Why you not love? Do you like bill and rent is Joe? And the landlord is evicting you. And don't you bend, don't you screw. Just do like I do. And put a smile upon your face. Got to be Boris, no disgrace. No sweat, no stress. Don't get upset when you're going through a phase. Me tell you if you smile, just smile. Never let them see you cry. Smile, just smile. Never make them hold you down. They tell me of a pie up in the sky.
Bull 1069.
But between the day you're born and when you die, they never seem to hear even your cry. So as sure as the sun will shine, I'm gonna get my share now. What's mine? And then the harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all. The harder they come, harder they fall, one and all. Well, the oppressors are trying to keep me down, trying to drive me underground. And they think that they have got the battle won. I say forgive them, Lord, they know not what they've done. 'Cause as sure as the sun will shine, I'm gonna get my share now. What's mine? And then the harder they come, the harder they fall. One and all.
Hey, taking it back, seriously back with that one, the boy, Jimmy Cliff, yeah. Shout out to everybody who definitely love reggae music, man. Shout out to Hilltop, my brethren, Standing Soldier. Good morning to you. Right now we got Pastor Richards coming up right here inside OMG in the morning.
Let's check in with the dot and look at things with a wider lens. Pastor Richards on OMG.
Hey, good morning, Doc. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Good morning to you. I have a little echo, so once we fix that, we good.
All right.
Okay, we good?
Yes, sir.
Excellent, excellent. Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as we forge forward towards the weekend and in this wonderful month of October. Celebrations all around. A lot of significant people have birthdays. I could call names. They meet me all over town and they say, Pastor, this is my month. I'm like, yeah. High five and fist and all of that. Kings are born in October, brother.
Yeah.
Queens too.
Kings and queens.
Kings and queens.
Yeah.
I might take some licks for that. It's a great month. It's just a great month. It's a great month. I hope you headed towards a good weekend. A very interesting discussion on your radio, started with the catalytic statements that were made by Mr. Weeks. I say catalytic because they provoked discussion. Someone called in and Mr. Weeks had to correct it. But again, Mr. Weeks' statement, he made some very profound statement and he was correct. Let me go ahead and say he was correct. In his premise, and his major premise is that the policy makers, the government, if you call them policy makers or whatever, the government, they can only do so much, but the efficiency of the policy makers is basically borne out by, just give me a second, let me correct that noise here.
That's almost doing this.
I'll let you know. Extremely sorry about that. I'm extremely sorry about that. Someone chose this moment to do something that happens. So I was saying the policymakers, I know this being a leader myself. I could have all of the best visions, the best ideas and everything. But I'm telling you, the best generals know that it's your foot soldiers that often determine the outcome of the battle. I'm not saying that the policies, I'm not saying the generals are not important, but you can have the best policies. And if your foot soldiers don't implement and execute your war initiatives, let me call it that, you ain't going anywhere. When I talk with my people, I tell them this, they will tell you that. I say, listen, man, data drives decisions. And if I have decisions to make and you give me faulty data, I gonna make faulty decisions because I'm making my decisions premised on what you tell me. So in a number of ways, you would have to agree, and not because of political flavor or favor, but you will have to agree that on a number of levels, Mr. Weeks is correct. And the other thing too that he implied, but he did not say, but it's a fact. Our civil servant, the policies of the government are pretty much executed by civil servants. That's it. The permanent secretaries are brought on board and all of that, and it funnels down to your civil service. So the government depends very heavily for looking good, for performing well. You have to admit that the government depends heavily on the efficiency of the civil service. So I would say that he was right in that also, right? Kenson, you would agree that he's right in that. And the civil service, I think from my presumption, but some can correct me if I'm wrong, the civil service is comprised of people from all kilts. You would understand the reference to that fabric kilt, which means that the civil service is not going to be all people who admire the government or admire the policies of the government or even in agreement. You have to understand that there are people within the civil service who will not be in agreement with the policy of whichever government is in place. It has happened before, it has happened, and it will happen again. Because people are people. You have to work. Yeah. Or you might not be in agreement, but you have to work. So I think the implicit deduction that we can make from what Mr. Weeks said is that the government is dependent on people who don't agree with its policies. Some of the people who don't agree with its policy initiatives and might not be to, enamored with them, to still do well for them. So that's a dicey situation that we have to be very aware of. So how could you say Mr. Weeks was wrong? I thought he brought some things to the discussion this morning, provoke. I'm not sure that, how do I say this? He just brought some things that he triggered me to think, and because this falls within what I want to talk about in October, I will talk about it.
Yeah.
He provoked about 4, 5, or 6 different trends of thought. Provoked me to think about qualifications for the civil service. I'm not going to go deep into it. But number one, qualifications. So how does one qualify for the civil service? So if I'm to get a job in the civil service, what is it based on? How is placement? How is a job procured? So you're digging that up. All right? I'm just saying you're digging that up.
Yeah.
Let me see if I should say more there. No, I just want to ask, how does one get the job in the civil service? Who determines that? on what basis? So we want to keep thinking that, because there are some who would say, man, that system is working just fine in terms of job allocation. Another person might think, the job allocation thing, I don't know. The other thing too that, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was saying it iffy.
Well, I just want to know how it's done, because you would hear insinuations that, boy, you don't know how the man got that job, boy. But you see, they come into the civil service and they work for the people, public service, but they work directly for the government too. And so the performance of the government will ride on them. So you would want to think that there should be some kind of vetting standard by which they would be vetted. So that's on the table. Maybe it's all good, or maybe it needs some review. I don't know. Maybe. The other thing that he brought to the table was training. I think he spoke a little bit about that. But you're right, and I agree with him. Training. Basically, training ups your efficiency, improves efficiency. And from where I sit, I have to agree with him also that this public service, our civil service, and our public servants, in the history that I have known, training opportunities is every 2 minutes. I know of someone in the civil service or the public service that goes for training all across the board. Is like, what? Everybody's getting training, it seems like. So I would think that the training is on point. Effort and opportunity is being put there to train you to be a more effective civil servant. But training and performance are two different things, right? And how the training translate into performance depends on a third thing that I want to talk about: work ethic. Last year, actually, in October, spent a lot of time talking about work ethic of our fellow Vincentians. What time they come into work, what time they leave work, what time they close down and put their bag on the table and tell you come back the next day.
Just code and attitude and all them things too.
I heard Mr. Weeks talk some time ago about, you have something in the tray, or I forgot the word he used, right? And somebody comes in from, let's say, Sanssouci, or let us say North Windward, North Leeward, and you very well could go deal with the thing, but you tell him, come back tomorrow. And he has lamented that, I mean, so yes, yeah.
Ken, so I don't know if you can call and engage with you.
Let me call in about 3 minutes. Let me go through these. Okay, Kenson, you can call in 3 minutes. Let me finish what I'm saying here. So work ethic is a serious matter. And you can't blame work ethic on the government now, can you? Who do you blame? When people have a poor work ethic, it's going to make the department look bad. It's going to impede the performance of the ministry. It's going to make things inefficient, and sometimes policies don't get enacted and carried out. When I say enacted and carried out, I mean at the foot soldier end. because people just don't have the commensurate work ethic to go along with the thing. So who do you blame for that, really?
Yourself.
When things don't work out the way they should work out, who do you blame? Who do you blame? Well, let's blame the government. Soft targeting. Blame the government. Low-hanging fruit. Performance. I think that's where most of Kenson. I'll give you a chance just now, but performance where this is concerned. I think that's what we were talking about this morning. How are people performing? If I'm not supporting your party, if I'm not supporting your government, if I'm not supporting your policies, how do I perform? And I heard questions about that this morning, but I would like to believe that in all of the ministries, and somebody again, maybe Kenzie, you could correct me when you call, but their performance audits, I would think that, well, in my own sphere, I do what is called, I do my own performance audit. First of all, I let those who do various ministries here at the church and have responsibilities for various things, which we are very well organized. I allow them to sit with me and I say, grade yourself. First of all, just grade yourself from an A to an F. And I give them an opportunity to tell me how they have been performing. And then objectively, according to my objective criteria, and based on what I have assessed, I can also objectively grade them. But I would think that if in my simple operation that's in place, certainly performance audits are in place all across the board to blame performance. And when they're performance audits without disciplinary and reward measures are really useless. And somebody is in the civil service, right? And some people have said to me, and I don't know, but some people have said, the safest job to get is a public servant, a civil service job. That's the safest job. Because once you get it, you're in.
Yeah.
For the larger part.
Yeah.
So if I'm messing up, if I'm like this lady who's at 2 o'clock clocking out, coming at 11. Most people know who she is now. She comes in at 11 and she clocks out at 2, and nobody could tell her a living thing. Nobody.
What time she's supposed to leave?
It is 8 to 4. She comes in at 11 and she leaves at 2. But she, others like her. But because she's well known, she's infamous. I made reference to that one. Everybody probably know. I'm not calling name, but everybody knows who that is. And if you're doing that and you're proud of it, then take this as an applause. If you're doing it and you shouldn't be doing it, take it as a But yeah, but there are others like that. Kelson, hold on, Kelson. So you have the performance audits, but if you can't discipline civil servants, because you have unions, you have public workers union, you have what's the other one called? Anyways, you have so you have to be careful how you discipline them, and also how you reward them. So all of these things were brought to the fore this morning, and I didn't go deep, but I said that these things matter. What Mr. Weeks commentary was a catalyst for all of these, but these things matter because he is right. Before you blame the government and before you blame the policymakers, when they do that, it is the people, foot soldiers, if you will, it's the foot soldiers who determine your efficiency at the end of the day. And there are some issues down there with the foot soldiers, and we have to examine and think about them. Before Kenson, so one thing I have to say to all of you who are in the civil service, all of you who serve our nation, and wherever you are, regardless whether you're in private enterprise or you serve in our nation, one thing I have to say to you is for Colossians 3:23. When you do your work, don't walk as unto man. Don't walk as unto a party. Don't walk as unto a boss. The Bible teaches us, and from where I said I teach this, when you go honest days, walk for an honest day's pay, knowing that God is watching you and God deserves the best. So walk as if you're walking for the Lord and give of your very best. And I think if I was civil servants and other workers would imbibe this, and when you get to work, let me show you what I mean. I don't have a boss. I don't have an overseer. But I try as best as possible by 7:30 every day. Well, on Sundays I get in at 8, but 7:30 I try to be sitting at my desk ready to roll. And I work late and I don't take lunch. I push hard because I ain't working for man. I know they say pastors, lazy pastors don't do work, but I know that I ain't working for the public either. I work in as unto God, and I want to give him my very, very best. So although I'm not accountable to anybody, I jam, bro. I jam it. I push it. You understand me?
Yeah.
And I wish that others would adopt that kind of attitude, and our country would do better, and certainly there would be the kind of things that efficiency that we are wanting to see. Kenson, you have been patient.
Yeah, I think Kenson can carve out now. Kenson can carve out now. In the meantime, Doc, somebody was asking, how will you grade this government based on the 20 years in power? You answer that in a bit. Kenson here. Hello.
Good, my brother. This is not Kenson. I'm going to be very short. So Kenson could call in. But I just want to give support to Brother Kenson of what he said about the ibuprofen. It's significant. That is not something that you play with. But we also had a similar situation with the, I'm not talking politics, Sputnik V, that was not authorized and was given to our people. We have seen also AstraZeneca and the other vaccines have literally, they've banned them and nobody explained to us. And so also there's a very serious problem at the hospital that we need to look at, and it concerns what has been happening to people in terms of things up inside of them. One last thing, Kenson, you're so correct about, but let me just say, I'm not going to slam you because I thank you very much for being one of the persons that are very truthful about the economy. We're not getting that from Mr. Weeks. We're not getting that from my brother Day. We need to understand that the only how we could know about if we have an auditor general, an accountant general under 70, 75, and 70, and that is not happening. So when you hear my brother Day, Pastor, talking about accountability, it is not happening. There's a massive violation. I walked at Jesco. I saw what happened. I could tell you what has happened. Teaching going on, and those people who been stealing stuff are the ones who went forward. And I'm saying here right now, there's absolutely no accountability, and that is why I'm shaming all of you who don't know the truth, who are defending wrong. It's wrong. Pastor Weeks, my brother, trying to understand, it is wrong for you to be coming here with such atrocities against our people, lies and corruption, and you're defending that in Jesus' name. You shame on you. I don't, man.
Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. Thank you. Kenson. Kenson, I thought that was your set me foot on you, man. We're still with you.
Mr. Hamilton is an interesting man. I'm not sure what I defended this morning. That's just but you had to take it. It comes with
I was calling and was willing to hold, but you didn't take the call at the time. Pastor, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kenson.
You mentioned a few things, and that is why I would like to engage you. First and foremost, let me get to the work ethic. And I fully agree with you that work ethic is a personal something. But I think it also comes with the environment of work and what people are allowed to get away with. And I like what you said there last about, people grading their performance, people's performance being graded and all of that. It should happen. And this is the thing that is going on here. Things should happen, but they are not happening. The things that should happen, most of the time, it's not happening. When it comes to work ethic, and I've always said this, the work ethic of workers will either improve or degrade based on the authority over them.
Are you saying that it is extrinsically determined as opposed to intrinsically determined? For example, you, Kenson, I have known you for 30 years or more. Mm-hmm. Are you saying that people could push your buttons and change your core values with respect to work?
Yes, it can, because and let me explain why that. Okay. I would even put it as pushing your buttons.
Okay.
But let us go back to the days of St. Martin.
Right.
The type of discipline we had then, it determined where the students held their head and where they were headed. Mm-hmm. You will have the few wayward ones. Mm-hmm. But the majority held straight and true to the cause. And the thing is that even the wayward ones knew or know what was expected.
Okay, I know where you're going, and it was not a binary question. In
I know, I
terms of
know, I
either
know.
or, but
I know.
and the research you like to research. There's a lot of research on extrinsic motivation to performance and intrinsic motivation to performance. And the most potent and powerful, if you do the research, you would find that a person who is intrinsically motivated, even though there are external detriments and there are external hurdles to them being the best that they can be, because of an intrinsic core within themselves, that these are my core values with respect to work. It ain't matter how much they pay me, it ain't matter how much they treat me, they're still gonna get the best out of me. So I am not dismissing that there are external deterrent factors. Those in any job, anywhere, that's going to happen. But I think my major point I'm making is that you need to have a work ethic. You need to have a work ethic that is determined from who you are and inside of you and your value. So no matter what your circumstances, you are likely to do better than the average Joe. And in other words, you don't just go in, work to rule, get the same pay just because you're angry or upset or because your mood ain't right or because of something that was done to you. I am saying that if you're getting paid to do a job, regardless of what, I would think that you ought to do it. I mean, I would think that a serious work ethic would propel you and impel actually you to do what you're supposed to do, regardless of.
And that is why I said that. That is
Yes.
why I said initially that I do agree to a degree with what you're saying, because it should be that your work ethic comes internally from you, from
Good.
your core belief, your system
Good.
and support. But
Good.
if you are in an environment, because that environment could change your work ethic no matter how your beliefs are. And let me explain. Because you yourself mentioned at the end of it, there before I call, you mentioned the same reward and discipline kind of something, the system. Now, if a person is pushing, their work ethic is, you know what? Let me get to work early, let me really work hard, let me get this thing going. And then the rewards are not there. They constantly are being overlooked, and persons below them are persons who doesn't even put in half the work is being rewarded. What do you think is going to happen there?
Yeah, that's very demotivating, Kenson. I'm just saying.
And it's like a soldier. It's like a soldier on the march, and that is why Sun Tzu was so proficient in what he did. And so to go with what you're saying there, Doc, again, many people are not as strong as me and you to stay the course of our core beliefs and maintain that work ethic. Because I've dealt with so many people when I was a member of the union, the public service union's executive, where so many people would come. You're talking about people who have worked 20-something years, top of the line workers who have been recognized. Look at what happened there recently there with the police promotions, for example. I know of officers. There's an officer who was rated best police officer 2 years in a row, and up to today he's still a constable after 20-somebody years.
Kenson, I'm hearing the trajectory of your argument.
Right. So I am using all that to say, at the end of the day, Doc, not everybody have that inner core strength like me and you may have to say, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm going to just do my do, and I'm not going to allow these external factors to change the way I perform my duty. And it's very hard, Doc.
Of course, and I'm not. By the way, don't think that I am knocking your point out the park. I am actually saying that these things happen. Not every promotion or not every measure of discipline or keeping a man in place is on the basis of meritocracy. For personal reasons, sometimes a man gets squeezed, or for organizational reasons, sometimes a person doesn't get the promotion all across. And this is not a political thing. So I know it is something that happens in organizational life. I am aware of it. Kenson, I teach this stuff, organizational life. I teach it. I know it. But and people come to me for counseling also on the merits of what you just said, on the basis like I've been doing this and I've been doing that. What do you think I said to them, Kenson? Do I justify and say, okay, well, boy, you're getting squeezed, don't go give your best. Don't go be pouring out yourself for nothing.
Come on, we don't expect any
right.
caution. We will try to strengthen the inner
I still tell everyone that comes to me, go out there and give of your very best.
Of course.
Even if you think you're being victimized, go out there and give of your very best.
That there is reality, and then there's conjecture. We can always say do this, do that, or whatever. But the reality is sometimes do not afford people to do such. Listen, let me give you another example. You see, you spoke about training and so forth earlier. It's all good, but guess what? Most people who are sent to training are not persons who will come back and even put that training into practice. And most of the time, the training sent for, you won't even come back and have persons be able to pass on that training to others so that
hold on.
The entire place better.
Hold on, you said most people? So you don't make no, that's a global statement. I kind of caution you. Say maybe some, but don't say most. Well, because it will be hard to prove that. It will be hard to prove that. Yes.
Let me take that back. So
yeah, okay.
But from a personal standpoint, that I've seen that, especially in my place of work.
Okay.
I can say most in that sector. Okay. Because I've seen people go off to train and come back, and it's like, what we saying I go train for? And it's not even that persons could come back sometimes and even tell you what the training was about. Some people just only go on a trip. And the persons who can really make a difference and really, really, benefit from this training and even help to make the department or ministry better by being able to pass on this training. Most of these time, these people are held back. And as you said, because of personal...
Are you saying that opportunities for training are unfairly allocated?
Yes, I am saying that emphatically. And let me tell you why I can say it. I have been, Kensa King here, I have been one on the receiving end of this. Me. And not on one occasion, not on two occasions, not on three occasions. Yeah?
Okay.
I have taken the time when training come and I've been overlooked. And I'm telling you, my name have been on list where the list was taken and go straight to the office of the Prime Minister and say, hey, look the list here. Yeah? To the office of the PS and say, hey, and my name was struck off. And I know of many other people in that same boat. And I've seen people who in these departments where they are known to be lackadaisical in the way they carry out their duties. They are the ones who have been taken and sent on these trainings and come back here and are still lackadaisical in their duties. Let me say the last thing before I go back, and then you can thing. You mentioned a while ago too about having these reports and support, on people's performances and
assessment
and all of these things.
Performance
right?
audits. Okay.
Performance audits, right?
Okay.
The thing is that they should be done. Because according to the rules and so forth of the civil service especially, they should be done. The question is, are they being done? And I can tell you emphatically too that maybe 98% of the time they are not. And you want me to tell you how I can tell you that? When a case was brought to the court by the unions about promotion some years ago, about 5 years ago, 5 to 6 years ago, right? When this issue was brought up and the court said, okay, Service Commission, bring all of those reports on the workers. Let us see them. Up to today, they cannot bring them to the court. Up to this day. And I can tell you, I brought up all of these things even to my department. It's recently they start to do it again. Because you will have people just come, walk, go, that's it. And you asked a question about people getting into the service. Well, the thing is that you have not been in the service, I think.
So are you saying that, wait, let me just digest what you just said. Are you saying or suggesting that there are people employed in the service whose performance if an audit were to be done, the performance is under par.
Yes.
But basically, what you just said to me there is well, we don't have time to get into the cancer, but that's a real serious statement because
but
the possibility. But let me finish. Let me finish the trajectory. Let me finish the trajectory of my thought and see if you want to take back your statement, because that's a dangerous keg. Because if I don't, well, okay, because you're saying that if I don't favor the government, I don't favor the government policies, I could very well be employed and no performance audit is being done.
Yes.
I could be the agent sabotaging the government and the government policies.
Yes,
so you just opened the door there, basically to say that there are people employed. Wait, let me finish. There are people employed within the government service. No performance audit is being done in the sabotage in the government.
But that guess what? The government and these people are sabotaging itself because many of these people were sent there, by politicians. They are the friends of politicians, and so many of the heads of departments are even afraid to talk to these people. It's the reality. That you see, the thing is this. You may be at a place where you might not really be in sync and let me not say in sync. You may not be aware of a lot of things.
True, very true,
very true. And so because these are things that I am head deep in, I can tell you these things, and I challenge anybody to come here, any head of department, even PS, to come here and truthfully say that what Kenzie is saying is a lie. Kenzie King is my name. Let them come here and I will challenge them. We have seen where in times of promotion, in times of discipline, there are persons who will tell you, listen, there are numerous occasions, there are plenty times that persons tell you, when they are brought up on discipline by heads of departments, they will tell you, may I go call this, may I go call that. By the time you do so tomorrow, and that is why right now there's a breakdown in the civil service.
Kenson,
and I mentioned it earlier.
Kenson, but you just said it really goes both ways. You just admitted on one side, but you admit on the other side. So, what I've just we don't have the time. We're gonna have to wrap up here. But what I'm hearing you saying is that, man, you just basically said that is. You agree with Mr. Weeks then? It's not even the policies and the structure and the initiatives and all of that. Sometimes it gets sabotaged. On one hand, by people who shouldn't be there, but they're there, and there's no audit on them, and they don't really do the work. And on the other hand, by people who are there, they ain't supporting the policy, the government, or anything, and they just not doing the work.
No. No, that you misinterpret what I no. Let me say again. Let me set it straight. There are persons who support the government and their policies, but these same people, through laziness, let me put it that way, through laziness, are feeling like, okay, I was sent here by a politician. I'm legal a politician, so I don't have to.
I get you.
To me.
I get you.
So the politician and the said worker, even though they know what the policy of the government is,
that can happen.
They inadvertently go against the same policies that they are trying to uphold.
That can happen, but also, would you agree that we have heard of not just white angels and all that, but you have heard of people, and you know of people, and you know of leaders actually. I know of leaders within the service, and by dint of the fact that they lead this or they lead that organization, they're very vocally, admittedly anti-government. And when you check their job performance, even in terms of showing up, I don't want to call names, but in terms of showing up at the job and doing the job, they just don't do it. And they basically also, on the other hand, they're also sabotaging the effectiveness of the government simply because
I made the comment before I came on. I don't know if you may have seen it or not. But I agree with you. I said at the end of the day, if a person is in a position and they're not performing, move them. The legislation gives you that leeway. Move them. I don't care whether you are for or against. My point is you are placed into a position, fill it.
I think you and I are on the same page on this. And we're going to have to end here.
And do it.
We are on the same page.
Before I go that, the last thing I like to say is this, and that's the thing there. Whether or not you support the government, for me, you are placed in a position to do a job. There are rules, follow them. And whether or not you support the government and you are not fulfilling the role that you are supposed to, and especially if you are overtly sabotaging what should be done, remove you from the post.
I agree. I applaud that. But it's not as easy. It's not easy to do. Kenson, thank you for your contribution. But I think at the end of the day, and I'm going to end here too, I think at the end of the day, most people out there would agree with the main point, that the efficiency of the government at the top is enhanced by the effectiveness of the system that is funneled down to, and that inefficient service will give you inefficient result, ineffective results and outcomes. So you got to be better at the bottom too. And the mechanisms, whether it's regards to discipline or rewards, punishment, regard to assessment, meritocracy, all of these mechanisms, there are a number of mechanisms that I highlighted. About 7 mechanisms were triggered by Mr. Weeks' statement that I thought we need to look at these things if they foot soldiers, so to speak, to perform more efficiently. Kenson and I are also on the same page here. On the same page that regardless to whether or not you are on the red side or the yellow side, what Colossians 3 said, you're not walking for man, you are walking as unto Lord. And when you do that, when you have that core work ethic to give an honest day's work, the best day's work, because you're in there getting the pay. I think when you adopt that attitude, regardless red or yellow, black or white, you will do a better job. And that's what I'm here to encourage people. Regardless to what, do the best job that you can do. And let me say it again. This is what I came on to say from the Bible, Colossians 3:23. Regardless to what, do the best that you can do.
I think we lost that there. Yeah, I think we lost that there. We also been running out of time. Doc, we'll shout you off air. The internet just kick out at one time. Yeah. Well, anyways, unfortunately, this is where we got to shut it down inside our OMG in the morning. We got the Shade Room coming up next. Jill and Punch are already in the building. Them outside waiting, pushing up them face and stripping up the teeth. Y'all, they're taking over time. What's going on here? Hey, so on behalf of DJ Shady, thanks to each and everyone that called in and messaging and contributed to the conversations that we had this morning. Big up all yourself. Don't forget, tomorrow is another day, God's willing. Same time at 6 in the morning. All right. So until then, I'll stay blessed. Got some commercials right here.
Throwback Thursday.
Simple looking things in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are taken for granted every day. Do you ever wonder how and where it's made? Tune into IKTV, channel 112, every Thursday at 8 p.m. to see where and how it's locally made.
Brooklyn, New York, get ready, 'cause it's